show it during the live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by, thanks to those guys for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin. Brandon, you're pretending to type.
I'm not pretending. I'm typing right now. That's Brandon.
I'm Blaine.
And I'm Gus. Yeah, we have a new...
I thought you got hit by a car.
I'm not a
my
Tesla
God.
owner.
Everything's so different. Sleek now.
I should mention right now at the top of the show, if you go, Bernie and you are doing that GoFundMe for the Special Olympics. And while we're broadcasting live tonight, if you donate to the GoFundMe, Bernie's matching funds for it. So if you want to increase your power to help send people to Special Olympics, go visit the URL. Should be in the stream right now. And only while we're live right now is he going to be matching up to $5,000 worth.
So not forever?
Not forever.
Not
if you're watching this on YouTube, it's not live. Did you know you can watch this podcast live every Monday evening if you're a member of Rooster Teeth First? Just check out the link in the description below. Wink.
Smooth.
See? Fucking got them all out of the way. Not a Tesla owner. What's that shit about?
You should line your head so that the car crashes into your head.
I didn't even know that was coming. I didn't know
What was
happen.
that?
It was just fancy.
Yeah, it's fucking Bernie probably showing out. He probably asked Broadcast to rub in the fact that I don't own a Tesla.
Got you.
Yeah, fucking zing.
You have a deposit down, though, when they come out in like 30 years.
Supposedly, they're going to come out on time, the Model 3s. They said they've already started test production, and they're going to enter mass production by September.
Do you think that's really the business they want to be in, or making batteries?
Why not both?
Can I make a prediction for
but
when...
I mean, like,
spaceships.
really, like the...
Are we going to do predictions for when I get the car?
Oh, thanks a bunch.
Thanks.
I think you will get your Tesla in April of 2019.
I think if I had to guess, my guess is I'm very optimistic. March 2018.
Bugger.
By this year, in 12 months, I'll have it.
Wow, I was going to say 2021, but I'll just go with 2020. Just because
Y'all are pessimists.
I'm not. I mean, they got a lot of stuff going on. They got rockets going up.
I saw their
Exploding.
SUV. It just looks like a fatter version of their car.
Yeah, this is built on the same frame.
It looks like me when I eat pizza, like before and after on Sundays. We're just like,
Do you notice a difference between you based on what you've eaten?
yeah.
So if you saw a picture of you, you could say, oh, I had a pizza
Oh.
right after that.
Well, it depends on how tight the shirt would be.
God.
But yeah, like I could recognize a Chipotle belly.
You do own shirts that are tight enough that you could tell.
Yeah, I wore one last night. When I went to, what was that movie called? Atomic Blonde, South by. You guys been doing any South by shit? Great, good conversation.
No,
Is it?
I haven't.
Yeah, we were there together. I felt like I didn't have to answer because you sat next to me in the
Sitting
movie.
next to you. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry.
I'm not very memorable, Gus.
Is it possible to get a shirt that's custom designed to make me look a little skinnier? Like, get
Corset?
rid of my gut?
Uh,
Like, imagine
You
if...
can wear like Spanx.
Well, imagine so vertical lines, except when it gets to about right here with the gut, whereas you naturally expand, have the lines slanted in.
so then it would be like
An
the design
illusion.
would be like this, but when you wear it, it'd be like that.
No, that when you wear it, it would be straight, but the
Yeah.
design would
That's
be
what
like.
he said.
Oh no, he said it would be like that. Like he had his hand.
No, they were
angled.
like this. You weren't looking at the right direction. My hands signals.
See, it's
I
the
went-
same kind of optical illusion.
So yeah, they get
No.
thinner.
It's already working.
It's like the castle, Disney Castle, exactly like that.
Oh, the one
Cinderella's
that's supposed
castle?
to look bigger
yeah,
than it is.
in Orlando.
They do like forced perspective on it or something.
Yeah, because they don't want planes to crash in it. So there is a limit to how tall the castle can be. So they make the top of it like more narrow to create that.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna drink
Yeah.
some of this green beer.
I was assuming it was because it was built on
Why is-
swampland.
What's for the green beer?
I think it's because St. Patrick's Day is later this week.
Oh. Is it?
Do you trust? Hey, you don't like distrust
What are those
like
globs of
weirdly
scum?
colored
What is
liquid?
that?
There's like scum
I'm
floats.
not drinking. Ugh.
Oh,
Got some chunky stuff came out of the picture.
Do we have a sieve?
Do we have a strainer?
I'm really hoping you drink it and then you smile and your mouth is just.
No, I'm not.
green.
How much for you to eat a handful of beer scum?
No.
How much you got?
In my wallet, nothing.
No.
Well, that's not enough, is it?
Do you don't mistrust like just weird like things that are naturally a different color?
Broadcast made it, and they know what a weirdo I am about stuff. So I assume that they took my special needs into concern.
What are your
There-
special needs?
I like everything washed very thoroughly before I use it.
Mm.
I once got a sore throat, and I accused Patrick of not having washed a glass, but he claims he did.
Yeah, I don't understand why dishwashers have multiple cleaning settings. Like, why don't you just automatically do the like sanitize,
Real
like
clean.
burn this, melt it, and like completely.
Well, I think it's to do with the amount of stuff you put in there.
No.
It could also do with the material of the stuff that you put in there, like plastic versus metals.
Oh, that's a great point. So, do you see there was a
We're talking about what you put in your
Fucking
dishwasher.
great conversation.
there was a
here.
city
No
there's a
washing Tupperware?
city in Canada.
You're too rich, don't.
There is.
There's
Let me
Tupperware in my
finish.
fridge.
It's the first
Well,
half of the
finish
sentence.
it.
So we're just talking about like weird colored
Shitty
stuff
comment.
and like trusting it or being skeptical. There's a city in Canada where all of the water in the city, like the tap water, just became pink. And people started like getting freaked out about it, and the city was like, no, don't worry about it. Just keep on going. Just trust us. Everything's okay. But it's like that's the weirdest thing. Like, could you imagine like getting up in the morning?
Oh my
You
God.
take a shower and it's just like nothing but.
What
like,
was it?
Huh?
That's like something out of Batman. Like
The-
like Joker put something in the fucking
This is
city
what it is.
reservoir.
The city planner was like, we're gonna raise awareness on cancer by giving cancer.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna.
What was it?
It looks like someone threw a
pink.
giant bath bomb in the reservoir.
Brandon, you're not
I'm
answering
looking
me.
it up.
What
I
was
have it
it?
here. I'm
What?
here.
You brought the
All right,
story
yeah, I
up.
know.
So did
All
they-
right,
did they
so
touch the
the city
beginning?
says
Say
they're
you're looking it
assessing
up. You're just like
exactly what
you're not
happens,
acknowledging that I'm asking
but
you a
I was just
question.
waiting for you guys to finish. I didn't want to just interrupt
kept
you.
saying,
it
Brandon,
appears
what
a
is it?
valve may have struck, allowing the potassium. Oh fuck me. Permanganate. Pomegranate. Thank you. To get fuck.
Oh, that explains the color.
Let's
it's not. I read it. It's not
re-record it.
pomegranate.
Yeah. Permanent. Hold on.
You got it
Let me
right.
look. What is it?
To be able to get into our sump reservoir and thereby into the town's water distribution system.
Potassium what?
Potassium pomegranate.
Potassium pomegranate.
Let me look at it.
Your favorite Sunny D flavor.
Permanent-
Just read it. Just read the syllables.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my god.
God, you are a train wreck, Brandon.
where is it? Potassium
I'm trying to help.
permanganate.
I'm trying to help. Trying to contribute. What was it?
Permanganate.
Oh,
Oh, of course.
you
Yeah,
just
I
said
don't
that.
know
Permanganate.
Did you
yeah.
learn when you learned how to read? Little Brandon.
Yeah.
When you learned how to read, did you learn like using phonics or did you learn sight words?
Just sight words.
Oh, that explains why you can't fucking read then.
Yep. Yeah, just be like, part of the minute. I mean, it's just.
It's
you're
like,
right.
yeah, that-
Pronunciation just doesn't make. Yep.
I just think that
And I was a horrible speller.
I think learning that way is awful because
It
then
is.
when you encounter words you don't know how to fucking say them.
What's
Yep.
sight words?
It's basically memorization. You start learning lists of words.
Oh, that's
That way-
wrong.
Right. So instead of like being able to read something phonetically, you can only say things if you have experience with that word already.
Well, it's why. Like,
It's the way I think most people are taught now.
That's
Really?
bad.
Yeah.
Well, there's.
Why not just learn the letters and then learn how to read?
It's like yeah.
There's so many exceptions though. Like there's certain languages where you just have like characters. Like I think in Arabic you'd have like shoo shoo shoo, and you know that
Shoo,
represents
shoo,
a
shoo.
sound.
What does shoo mean?
And I don't speak Arabic. I don't speak Persian either. I'm half Persian. I know nothing about the culture.
You must know how to say hello.
It's not Ola. Hadafes is goodbye. Hadafes is goodbye.
So you know how to say goodbye but
Ballet
not
is
hello?
Thank you. Yeah, no, I don't know how to say hello. Ballet is yes.
Do your parents speak it?
My dad speaks it with his friends, but my mom's
About
not.
you.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
talking shit about Brandon.
My mom's she's the white, so we didn't speak it growing up in my house.
How's your mom
And even
doing?
my dad and his friends, they speak. It's kind of like Spanglish. You hear that term? They just speak a mix between English and Persian.
How was your mom?
She's doing good. You met her at my wedding. You were dancing with her for a while.
Lovely lady.
Good
Yeah.
lord.
At one point, it was me, Chris, and Josh.
She was
We're
in the middle?
like doing this number around your mom, and we're like, Brandon! And you looked over and we're like,
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, all right, funny. Moving on. I'm just gonna let that happen. Not gonna.
that was so nice.
That's when I spilled beer on Gus and he left my wedding and I felt
It wasn't
so
beer,
bad.
it was vodka.
I feel so.
To be fair, if you're going to spill anything on Gus, it might as well be vodka.
Yeah, it's
Why'd
clear.
you leave so early and you didn't say goodbye?
I'll tell you off podcast.
I'm imagining it's someone he shit his pants.
Yeah, I shit my pants. That's exactly what happened.
He didn't shit his pants.
I was excited. I was like, we have like free alcohol. Gus is gonna have alcohol all night. Gus is gonna have a good time. Because I was so surprised that you
I was there.
I know.
I went.
I
Went to
know.
Mexico.
I was very happy.
It was
But
an
I was like, I
incredible
wanted
wedding.
you to be like completely. I wanted you to be like, I had a good time.
I did have a good time.
Okay,
I
I'm
finally got the wedding favor.
I know. And it was, I think we talked about it. A lot of times at weddings, people will get a first aid kit, basically. It'll have stuff like a hangover powder. I think we put phone chargers in it because I was like,
Still use
Paula, we need the Rooster Teeth people need their phones or they're going to leave. And I put it inside replica Fallout lunchboxes. Yeah. And I was like, I think most people will like this, but I was like, I think Gus is really, really going to appreciate it. But at the hotel, they put his first name. And Gus or Gustavo, there was a lot of people at the hotel that had the same name. So they just gave it to some like random person. And I was like, the satisfaction was just like ripped away from me because I was like, the only person that's going to really like this is Gus. So then Paula's mom, after the fact, went to that hotel and made them track it down.
Wow.
And it was well, from my perspective, it was really confusing because the itinerary for the wedding, for everything that was going on, was in that lunchbox. So since I never had it, I was like, well, I'm in Mexico. I don't know what time or where anything is. I was like texting other people like, hey.
I feel like you designed a lot of your wedding around whether Gus would like it or not.
I had very little to do with the wedding. And the stuff that I asked for, I did not get. I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying I really wanted casino tables. And they told me that they were going to get them. And they were looking into it up until a week before the wedding. At this point, I'm just like, you're not really getting it. And they're like, no. I was like, fair enough. But it was a great thing. But I was not very actively involved in that planning.
It was amazing. Brandon, the other day, Brandon asked me what stamps I had on my invitation.
What's that mean?
Like the postal stamps.
Oh yeah.
In the envelope that he mailed to me. He's like, which stamps did you get? I was like, Star Wars ones? Yeah. Which ones? I was like, I don't remember.
There were tears because I was like, all right, I only have so many of these Star Wars stamps and they were vintage. So I had to put a shitload of them and they were like big cards. So I had to put even more. And so I was like looking at each person and which ones would they like Josh Flanagan. I put,
Chewbacca because he's a hairy fuck.
No, Mace.
Mace Windu?
No, sorry. Who's the bad guy from The Apprentice in Phantom Menace?
Donald Trump.
Darth Maul?
Oh.
Darth Maul, yeah. Because he hates Phantom Menace. I was like, I put that on there. I'm like, he'll really like it.
You gave me Boba Fett.
Yeah, I put all this effort and no one gave a shit.
No,
Nobody
I did.
I cared. I commented on it.
Did you really?
Yeah, at the time.
Oh, thank you.
Like to yourself, not
I'm
to Brandon.
still
You're like,
waiting
oh, Darth Vader.
to RSVP.
I'll get to it.
Okay.
It's like your theory where you don't reply if it's a no. It's like the same thing,
It drives
in
me
like
crazy.
physical form.
It's cool. Just say no, because then it's like you feel in a weird position where you, especially for wedding invitations, you have to find out and get an RSVP. So then you feel really awkward going to people about being like, "Hey, are you coming?" It's like I don't want you to feel like, yeah, I just felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you're already an awkward person to begin with.
I'm already an awkward
But
person.
when you said you came up to me, you were like, "I'm going to invite you to my wedding, but I know you probably won't go," and I was like, "All right."
Oh.
I know. I just didn't want to. I don't want. I have a real phobia of people feeling obligated to go to things. I mean, did you go?
No.
Fair enough.
I don't think I was in town.
That's cool.
Not that it was in town.
Yeah.
I was somewhere else probably.
You weren't in the appropriate town.
Yeah.
No, I just have a weird phobia of people feeling obligated to come to something that I'm doing.
It was a really strange thing because, I remember when the invites were sent out, you kept saying to all of us, you don't need to come.
No, I didn't say it like that. I just did not.
It was like,
No,
it was
you're
like a very
I know it's
passive,
really far away.
It's like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's like, we just wanted to invite you. It's not a big deal. And then Paula was like, you need to come. Just come. We would love it. And I was like, yeah, totally. So
just
so
felt
she
guilty.
roped you into it.
no one ripped me into it. I would have gone regardless. Paula and Brandon are lovely.
I felt guilty because it's an international wedding and it's not a city that's easy to get to. There's no direct flight to it.
But nobody in our group had been to Mexico aside from I don't know, maybe Josh or something. So we were all like, yeah, it's a new experience. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's not like a beach town. It's not a super fun.
We had a blast.
I'm glad.
You had giant robot mech people dancing with us. We were in a dance battle. That kind of sucked, but it was still fun.
Yeah, we ended up
time.
renting private buses to take people from here to there just to help with it, just because I'm that paranoid.
So when's the divorce?
that in Mexico
well, it's another 2 years before Paula gets her citizenship. So yeah, I got like a free pass for a little more while.
You could be a really
Locked in.
shit husband. You could buy all the grass from California that you want.
There's nothing wrong
I
with
forgot
that.
about that.
I just feel like she's gonna be counting down till she gets it, and then she's gonna have a laundry list of things that to hold me responsible for. And I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry.
What's the grass in California thing?
he buys grass from California so his dog can piss on it.
Yep.
fuck is this?
Presented without
That's
context.
the most high maintenance shit I've
But
ever
we already
No,
talked about
no.
that. We already talked about that to death.
Yeah,
I'll
that's-
tell you about it.
it's
Yeah,
done.
okay,
I'll tell you about it
It's
afterwards.
done.
I don't listen to I mean, I must have missed that podcast because I listen to it all the time.
Why would you be a
It
jerk?
comes
I
with
like how cool you've become, Blaine. You're cool now.
Okay, that is so. You said that with such a shit tone that you clearly don't mean it, and that hurts.
do you see what's kind of weird? Like the way that Blaine is gesturing. He's like, you said that with a.
Everything you've done today has been like that. You're like, yeah, we were dancing like this, and then you're cool like this.
You
Just
trying to tell us something?
You really want to jerk off right now.
No, I actually did look at my hands the other day. I think they're just kind of trapped in this position.
Do you have like Bill Nye hands, where you're
What?
Bill Nye has his hands.
not Bill Nye the science guy, Bill Nye the actor?
Oh,
Oh,
was he?
oh,
what's
was
wrong?
he the fish guy?
Was he the fish guy?
And Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
he
he was the
the
octopus man.
squid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Davy Jones?
Speaking of jerking off, Gus, you and I and Chris.
Jerked each other off.
Pause. We had a discussion, weird discussion about like VR porn.
Let me set that up real fast.
Okay.
So if you're watching the podcast, stay tuned. After the podcast is over, we have a supplemental interview that we did with someone who makes VR porn. So stay tuned. After the credits, we'll have that. Are we gonna have that live for live viewers? Yeah, it'll be
Like they
live. So if you're
film-
watching live,
So we need to
it,
speak
or-
highly of it then, or can we dog it?
no, you can say whatever you want.
Okay, because I have some things. To say.
So
I don't know. It's
so you were gonna say?
yeah. So speaking of jerking off, there was something she had mentioned that I never heard about that blew me away, pun intended. Where there's like a device, kind of like a fleshlight. We've talked about fleshlights a lot. So you can put on your VR headset, and then you have the things you hold, and then you put on the fleshlight type device.
Can you control? Okay.
And then that syncs up to the software that the actual VR company has running that's linked to your Oculus. And then the live performer has a device that interacts with that fleshlight type thing on your thing. And so they
Look
can
up,
do
please.
things and motion with it, and you'll have that same sensation.
Wow.
But it's like
Oh, there it
manually
is.
controlled.
What?
Yeah.
So that's like a USB compatible
So-
badge.
But how? So is that just got to hang on your dick while you're controlling with the controllers?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if
that's
it
a
might
little
fall
cumbersome.
off. You might have to strap it on.
You actually probably don't need the controllers, or you might only need one.
Dude, imagine your mom walking in on you and you got like all this technology and you're like, ah! It's like, oh my God.
I need this to get off.
There's a fantastic video that this guy made that we were working with, like a new director, and it's the same thing. Like, imagine your mom walks in with you jerking off, except 10 years from now, and he's in this like giant circular apparatus with like all of these Minority Report like displays flashing up,
Porn.
and like this like same thing, like device that's like jerking him off live. Like, I highly recommend checking it out. It's super funny. It's the exact same thing.
The way that we came up to learn about this device when we were talking
Came
earlier
to learn about it.
was my concern was, when you have VR porn, you have the headset on. I was like, how do you control like where you finish? Like, what if you make a mess on your keyboard and get a key stuck or get on your monitor? She's like, oh, well, there's that thing. You just put it on your dick.
A condom? Oh,
No,
never
what
mind, never
we've
mind,
been
never mind.
talking
Sorry. I thought you were talking in the event that you came with this thing on. Never mind.
But like,
So how do you wait?
think how far
So
they
wait.
could take that technology. Like,
Speak-
imagine if there's like a kind of a heavier little apparatus, like something with a little bit of weight that you put on your waist, and then you have this thing that can have that same kind of motion. You look up, like, we're so close to the point that it's
Robot
virtual sex. Yeah,
Robot sex.
So
like
you could shag-
Demolition
so
Man like sex.
Two people could shag but not be touching each other.
Yeah, like imagine if
This
she also
relationship
has
would be
like a
so
device,
great.
and as she moves her waist,
So would
or
that
he,
be cheating? Like,
whatever,
say
you have the same sensation.
Oh, is that cheating?
like Esther was wearing the penis and it was being controlled
Okay.
by someone else. Like, say I was controlling the
Yeah.
penis, so whatever I was doing, it was going up her.
Yeah.
Would that be her cheating with me?
That's really weird.
Does it?
I would be very uncomfortable with it.
What if I had it here and I could do it wirelessly? I was like, Gus.
I would not like that.
Are you controlling with your hand though, or your penis? Because
I guess it should be penis. It should be penis.
Then I think that's wrong.
That's probably
But with your hand,
Stop.
I think that's can go anywhere.
Dude, at some point that boundary will be broken.
Yeah.
It's close. I think the technology is so close. Like, you just need better designed stuff. And I mean, I was completely just blown away.
Here on Twitter, who is this? Murphy Vagelt said, "Wow, jerking off in the future is going to be dangerous."
If somebody does like hack into your computer or something like that, and it's just like full squeeze mode, like someone could really take you for a trip.
Well, I don't think they designed it so your penis could be crushed.
I don't know.
There's different
Could be
like penis
exploited.
girths and sizes. What if like they make it for like? Because I've got a giant dick. So what if like
What's
they,
that like, by the
they
way?
make it for like a Brandon size one?
What's that like?
It's awesome.
See, that was one of the things that she brought up this morning was like when you put on the headset, you don't actually see somebody there. You don't see the cameraman there. It's just space was like, so you can imagine your own thing. But I was like, no, I want to see somebody there. I want to see what it's like to have a monster.
Schlong.
Yeah. Like that's
But then you'd
really
have no
the
connection to
important,
that.
Huh?
We
mental.
talk about some of this stuff later.
It's all
Let's not spoil
Aw,
the discussion.
but I wasn't there.
That particular discussion.
Nobody invited me to the
You can
penis
watch it.
robot game.
You can watch it.
I don't watch the show.
Hey,
I mean, I'm gonna have to miss
speaking
it.
of watching, did you know this episode of Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by Movement Watches?
Seamless. Nailed it.
I have a question for you.
Go.
So, in life, you buy things,
I buy
and then
things.
eventually you probably won't need them anymore.
Yep.
Like my Wii U, I don't really need that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Nobody
But
does.
if I sell it, it won't make much money because it's old.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could unbuy it, like press a button, it goes back in time and you get all of the original money you spent. And it would never have been sold for Nintendo. If everyone could do that, which company do you think would be the most damaged by people unbuying their product?
All of them.
Car company.
Yeah, but
I think anyone who sells you like a mobile phone,
I
you know,
think
they're gonna
every
constantly do
copy
that.
of No Man's Sky would be unbought.
Oh,
I would not unbuy it.
You wouldn't?
No, I was happy with the experience.
like 5%.
Mm.
What,
And I realize I'm in the minority there. It had problems. It was not a great game, but I felt satisfied with what I got for what I paid.
but Gavin, so like
I did actually. I played it quite a lot.
when this happens and you click the unbuy thing, does that undo all of your memories?
No,
Then there's no downside to this. I would absolutely do that to literally everything. I would eat a hamburger and unbuy it. Probably not a
Oh.
hamburger because it's high in fat and
that's
carbohydrates, like a Chipotle burrito.
well, I guess if you unbought a hamburger, it would disappear from your gut.
Oh, well, then you just went against what you just said, which is
Yeah, I didn't think it through when it came to food.
But
But yeah, I mean, you could shit it out and then unbuy it. You're already done with it at that point.
there's no downside to this. I would absolutely do that. This is the worst $1 million bet scenario.
Well, you don't get any money to be able to unbuy something.
But you get all the money back that I would do it.
I wonder how much money you could get from like your entire apartment. What are you doing?
Something like sulfur,
Maybe it's potassium magnate or whatever it was.
possibly.
It'd be interesting to like break down the value. Like I have homeowners insurance for like my house and for all the stuff in it. It's interesting when you like try to figure out how much insurance you need. It's like you trying to break down how much would it cost to replace everything. Like if my house burned down and I had nothing left, how much would it cost total to replace every single thing I've collected over my entire life? Like all my clothes,
so
all my
annoying.
electronics, like not even thinking about data or anything like
Are you
that.
including the price of the material of the house?
Right, I like all of that. Like what if you were to write one check for all of that, what would it be? Like that's fucking crazy to try to think about.
Is it like original retail value? Because I mean, a lot of that stuff is old.
Yeah.
It'd
Yeah, I'm
be
saying like if you have
really
to go out and
expensive.
replace it.
That's
Say I have a jacket that I bought at like a thrift store that was originally $75, but I bought it for $20. How would you do that?
I don't know.
What would you say that your most prized, aside from like dogs and like living things, your most worldly possession? What would you say it is?
My most worldly
Like,
possession?
sorry, I guess not worldly. Like, what is the thing that you value most? The one possession that you have that you just value the most?
my laptop?
Really?
Gavin, what
Maybe
was
my
your
phone? I don't know. I don't
Phantom?
have like I really don't care about my stuff that much.
Phantom?
I mean, I don't own that.
Okay, what would yours be though?
I mean,
Brandon,
it
yours?
would be stuff that you can't replace,
Yeah.
like a nice note from someone or something.
Really? So
Well, I
if
can't
you had to
just-
like kick down your door and your house is on fire, you'd save a fucking note?
I don't know, save like a memory that I couldn't replicate.
Okay.
my wife's engagement wedding ring.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I would run back into a burning building.
It would probably be fine though, wouldn't it? Would it melt?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on like how bad. Are you
Oh.
talking about a huge explosion, or I mean, like when your dog
Dogs.
swallows your a ring and you
Lube?
get it out,
Oh.
does it damage at all?
I don't
Nah.
think so.
Your dog swallowed your ring?
No, he went after the ring, our new dog, and it freaked me out. I ended
Vader?
up buying this like super protective case for it. Yeah.
Have I met Vader?
I'm not sure. I'll bring by the office.
Sounds like a sweet boy.
We got to take him to the vet pretty soon. He doesn't know this, but we got to take off the balls.
Ooh.
Important step in every dog's life.
I almost bought a
Yeah,
corgi
it was a
this
whole
weekend.
thing trying to get that figured out with the vet.
What do you mean it's
'cause-
a whole thing?
All right,
We
well,
do this all the time.
we had him like groomed or whatever, and then the groomer was like, "Hey, he's kind of crazy. You should really get him neutered." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I mean, like, his I have to wait till his stuff comes out." And then like I kind of looked, and
what does
there
that
was
mean?
His stuff comes out.
What does that mean? You have to
like
wait
his
till
balls.
balls.
You gotta wait for his
He's in
balls out
puberty.
there. And then I looked and I saw his balls, and I was like, "Oh my god, when did those come?" And then so like I called the vet, and I'm like, "Look, can we schedule it?" They're like, "Well, are they completely out, or is it one or two?" And I'm like, I don't know. So
Get up in there.
So I went, and Paula had to like grab him, put him upside down, and I used my phone and took a bunch of photos of my dog's balls.
Why?
And then
Why?
I emailed them.
Wait, which?
I emailed them to my vet.
Why
and
does it only
like,
have one bollock?
No, that's the thing. You can't tell because they're so small in his hair. So I emailed my vet, and I'm like, "Look, I just want to warn you. There are photos of my dog's balls here." So I
didn't
put a
warn
lot
us?
of spaces in the email, and then I attached them, and I'm like, are we at the point where we can
Where was our
schedule it?"
warning?
I like that he warned the vet with like a load of
Yeah.
space, but
With us,
for,
it's
like
just dog
thousands
balls.
of people watching, they just got balls in the face.
And
Yeah,
asshole.
and I mean, that wasn't really the worst
Bulldoggy
one. That
asshole.
one was the safe one. I forwarded all of them. And then they were like, "Well, okay, we looked at him. We're just not sure if one's there or two. So you can either bring him in for us to test, or you can just feel yourself."
What's
and
it
I was
called
like,
when a bollock-
well, when's your next appointment? I am not going to feel my dog's balls."
Isn't there a name for that when one of the balls doesn't descend?
Crypt
properly?
orchid.
What?
Crypt orchid. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah, I
can
know
still
I'm right.
neuter. Like, because that happened to my dog, my other dog. Like, one of them, the balls didn't drop, but they have to go in and like do like real surgery.
That
and
can
take it
happen
out.
to people.
Yeah.
Where do they start then?
They start at the top of the head, and then they slowly work their way down with gravity until they get to the test.
But aren't they just right
balls
there
are-
but small?
They're like up, I think, like in your abdomen, and then they
Really?
they descend. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, for people, they don't drop at the same time. Do you remember like seeing one of your balls drop and not the other?
Honestly, I thought I had my
No.
balls my entire life. I
Yeah.
wasn't aware that they
I think
weren't
that
in it.
happens before you can form memories.
I
No, I think
thought
it happens with
before you-
puberty. Like they're kind of like all snuck up in there, and then at some point they're like, bonk.
I'm
Brandon,
pretty
you're
sure I
revealing
wasn't
a lot.
walking
No,
around.
No, can we
with my-
look this up? Like, I'm pretty sure
we're not going to look up little boys'
human
balls dropping. We're
drop.
not going to look that up. I don't want more images of balls in my mind.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't walking around.
It
with
happens
my...
for most males by 6 months of age.
Yeah.
No, but
like I've
that's
never
like
been
two
walking
different
around with
things.
my
Brandon's
bollocks
revealing
in
a
my
lot
stomach.
about his
Hold
balls right
on,
now.
puberty
Puberty, they just
balls
get bigger though, don't they?
drop. No, I think it's like a
You
literal
get hair
like,
and stuff.
boom,
yeah.
like
Well, the
So
actual
by
testicle doesn't
by
get hair
6
on it.
months of age, only
I'm really
0.8%
hairy,
still have undescended testicle without any intervention. So 99.2% of human males have their testicles descend by 6 months.
there's like another phase of it.
So when people are
I'm
talking
pretty
about
sure.
their balls dropping, they're really only 6 months old.
Yeah.
They're not like 13 or 14.
So grow up, you baby.
Can someone on Twitter?
You have a laptop.
Yeah, but I don't want to spend this time. Like I don't.
You don't want to
Just
spend all the time because you know
podcast.
you're wrong.
Doesn't want more incriminating shit on his search history.
Like I've never.
I was still.
Boys' testicles.
at the time where I knew what my scrotum was. It was never empty.
Do you remember your
It's
first
not
erection?
empty. It's just kind of like, all right. Imagine you have.
It's like a
imagine
coin
you fill up
purse
a water
with no
a water
coins
balloon.
in it.
Imagine you fill up a water balloon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine.
And you're like just kind of like holding it in your palm, and then you let the bottom part fall, and then all of a sudden you have most of it here, and then it kind of then it kind of goes up. Like it's like hanging and dangling in the wind.
What are you on about? What are you talking
Let me look
about?
this up.
I don't know. I'm really puzzled. I don't know.
Balls dropping during puberty.
How old
Yahoo
are you? How old
Answers.
are you when your balls drop? Since that's ultimately what this is about.
It's in puberty.
Sure.
No,
that-
I'm asking you, Brandon.
Did you have floppy
But then
sack
it's
when you
going on
were?
what that means.
Here's the thing, though.
Let me look this up first to just make sure I'm not.
Here's
a
the thing:
freak.
if they don't drop and then you hit puberty, how will they ever fit through the scrotal
I think
opening?
by then they figured it out. Like by
Okay.
then you've seen a pediatrician or a doctor has worried about this by then.
So doctors have to squeeze
Baby balls.
like, baby testicles to see if there's
Oh.
a nugget.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh. Let's talk about like robot sex instead of balls. And,
You know what I discovered today?
What's that?
It was not a discovery. But my name, like if Gav spelled backwards is Vag, right? But Neil was playing audio where I said my name, but he scrubbed the audio back, and it was Fag.
Gav.
So it's Vag spelled,
Huh.
but Fag said backwards.
Because
it's an
the
unfortunate
G sound
name,
is
isn't it?
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like
It's
a
always
soft
nice
G
to
instead
know.
of a hard G. It's not Javin.
Yeah.
It's Gavin.
And I'm allowed to say that because that's a cigarette for me.
It's true.
Yeah.
He is clean.
According to
Immune.
English.stackexchange.com, the wrinkly sac just behind the penis, which holds the testes, starts to hang a little bit lower away from the body.
When?
What the fuck? What are we? That's not what we're talking about.
I don't think
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it like drop. That's what I'm saying though. Is it's a visual difference. At some point,
At puberty?
they become lower. Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
anybody's
yeah, 'cause
wanting
your
you to
bollocks,
prove your
like,
point,
they-
though. I think I don't know.
They become useful. They become
They
like
activate.
spunk makers.
Yeah, sure. That fine. That's the reason. But they still like drop, and you're like they don't drop at the same time. And then you're like, whoa, why is one of them way bigger than the other? This is not right. Because you don't know anything back then. Because we didn't have, resources like Wikipedia where you just learn everything.
To be fair-
Brandon, everyone's asking you to stop. Everyone on Twitter is just like, Brandon, stop. You don't know what you're talking about.
To be fair, I thought my first erection was a bone misplaced that shot through.
You
the
did
skin.
not.
And
Come
that's why-
on
and
now.
And I logicked it down. It's like, is that why they call it a boner? Like, does a bone like initiate? Like, I
I
didn't
like that
know.
you knew the term boner before you'd ever had an erection.
Yeah, might have had some weird cousins and stuff. So.
Well, when you're, in school in the
They use
playground, you
words
hear,
like boner. And
Oh, okay.
things. Older cousins. What's up?
you hear like words thrown around, when you're younger at school, and you're like, I don't know what that means. Like I remember it being in like elementary or something, really young, and this guy brought like a penthouse, which is like pretty filthy photos, and he like showed me something. He's like, oh look, that's a pussy, and I'm like, oh cool. And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, what is going on here? Because you don't.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was in like second grade. How old are you in second grade?
Like 8?
Man, I was like fucked up.
That's pretty young to see
Yeah.
a vagina.
But you don't want to
How do you say
admit
it
it
like
to
that?
people that you don't know what it is.
All right. Yeah, I can understand like people using words, especially when you're young. Like you don't want to like look uncool or be out of place.
Yeah.
You
Whereas
kinda,
now
like,
you just go on
play
Wikipedia, you can learn. I mean, everything's explained.
I
Pretty
do
back
remember
then.
getting caught red-handed. Like people are talking about South Park in like 6th grade or 7th grade or something like that. I didn't watch South Park. My parents didn't let me, but I also just didn't have an interest in it. And I did see one episode of South Park, and I quoted that fucking episode like nonstop because I want to be cool. Hey, I watched South Park too. And then someone called me on. They're like, "Have you only seen that one episode?" And I was like, "What? No, I watch South Park all the time." And it was really awkward. Good story.
I mean, you
I'm
could have
sorry.
said like,
I mean, those are the days where people got outraged at South Park.
Mm.
But at some point, culturally, it just became, oh yeah, that's South Park. To where they can kind of say whatever they want or do whatever they want now. Certain exceptions, like Scientology, some people went crazy about. But it's weird.
They still did it though.
Yeah, they still did it, but it's like so many other people, I mean, on the web or like us, like there's so many things that if we did, it would erupt into like this really big thing. But, it's like one of those things, oh, it's just South Park. Yeah, of course they're
I
going to do
think
that.
it's because
They get burnt out, I guess, about complaining
I
about
think
it.
South Park is, for the most part, very clever and it's very well written, and
What are you trying to
it
say,
can be
Russ?
viewed as very poignant social satire.
Yeah.
Whereas lots of times, if I think honestly, if I were to try to make some of those jokes, I'm not as good as those guys. So that's why it just doesn't come across.
I agree with that, but I think the people who were leading the campaign against the material in that show didn't really care about that. It was more the fact like our kids can't be, exposed to something like this rather than, well, this isn't a, satire or parody and now.
Well, it's also not a show intended for kids.
yeah, I don't get.
I mean,
why
all kids
parents
watch it.
complain about
Everybody.
that shit.
I was in junior high when it came out, and we all watched it.
Right, but I'm saying like that's not, in my opinion, it's not a valid complaint since there's ratings on television shows, and someone should know what they're getting into.
Parents complaining about anything that they still think their children should see shouldn't let their children see it. Like I never think that that's a good logical complaint.
Mhm.
No,
Of course, none of us have kids, so what the fuck do we know, though?
it's true.
I'm sure people will be very quick to point that out.
Yeah.
do we have any beer that isn't got scum on it.
This reminded me when I was little, we were doing a
They're
Dr.
lucky.
Seuss thing, and we made green eggs and ham. So they actually like put food dye into the green eggs.
What
And I
what
remember-
bit goes green? The white.
What? The green was we made scrambled eggs and we put green
scrambled
into
eggs.
it. Yeah. And I remember eating it, and I saw my teachers with a couple teachers, and I said, "Oh wow, these are so good. I wish I could throw them up and eat them again." And I waited, and they didn't hear, but I think they did hear it. So I said it again, but louder. And then they were like, "Ha ha ha ha," as if they had heard it and thought it was funny. But then I think in that moment I realized that wasn't a funny joke, and they were just kind of like this moment right
They were
now.
trying to like forget about it and let you escape with dignity, and then you threw it out there again.
Yeah.
I
I don't know where that went.
No, the important thing is you tried.
Half my stories are like that.
You're not doing well tonight.
No,
You're a
no.
little off your game.
Brandon just
We shouldn't tell someone
dominating
that
with his ball
while they're
balls
on the podcast.
conversation.
No, because I want to make him even more uncomfortable.
Yeah, but that's mean though. You should say it after.
Hey, what's up?
No, you're trying to inspire him.
Yeah, do better.
Like I feel like going up to someone after something saying that wasn't your best performance is way better than you're not nailing it right now.
Well,
Yeah, that is.
No, it's
true.
it's like an athletic event. Like, do you think if someone's playing basketball, the coach is like, going great. And he's like, man, I just can't wait after the game to say, like, these guys sucked.
You gotta tell them now. That way they can do something to correct it.
Yeah, but he's gonna be in your own head about it.
It's true.
Maybe that'll help though.
It's not.
Hey, let me read this right here. I want to remind you this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by.
Number will be.
Like when he dies.
Yeah, well, fuck if I know. The podcast always happens. Like it's a little intimidating to think
But
about.
it's crazy with everything that you currently do on a regular basis. One of them will be our last.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like when the company ends or something, or what?
So-
I don't know. I just always think of that when I'm playing a video game, like a game like Skyrim. I'll play for a hell of a lot of time, and then I'll put it down, and then maybe a few months later I'll come back to it. But there will be a time where maybe it's already happened where I will never play Skyrim again,
Right.
and it's just weird to think about.
What
like I
podcast-
might have put it down, intending to come back to it, and maybe that was it for the rest of my life.
It's like that thread on Reddit that was really popular. That's like one day your parents picked you up and put you down for the last time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
It's weird to think about it like in that kind of context.
Yeah.
What podcast number is this?
This is
again?
419.
Okay, so I'm going to make a guess and say podcast 1979 is going to be your last podcast.
That's like 30 years from now?
Yeah.
Why?
I just feel like you got 30 more years
Of
of
podcasting?
valuable podcasts.
He doesn't have 30 more years
Put
of
me
life.
out of my misery. Jesus.
Like we're definitely
It's intimidating, man. Every Monday, I gotta fucking.
we're
we
definitely
gotta do
past the
this.
halfway point, right?
I don't know.
Since like the whole decade it's been on.
There's
2
56
decades.
in a year, right?
52. You're close.
Fuck me. Sorry. I wasn't counting the special podcasts that we do every now and then. Those don't exist.
We did it once. We did one every week once.
What do you?
I'd say yours is going to be. Hold on. Stop cutting to me because I don't know what I'm doing right now.
If we have someone who's 70 who's president, I think you could be doing
Anything's
podcasts
possible.
in your late 60s.
I'd say like 300 some podcasts from now.
So you're giving me like 6 years?
Yeah.
to live or
No, it's for his last
I feel bad,
podcast.
guys. I would have guessed way less.
I don't know.
I'd have given you like 65 more, maybe.
Jesus, only like a year?
Gee.
I don't know.
Today I learned Gavin has very little thought about me.
It's not a lot of thought. I just think you'll move on.
No, this is like the thing. I've done the longest.
So I have
this
a
is-
cousin.
No. RVB.
I don't work on RVB anymore.
You were in it.
Yeah, but I mean, I just do a voice.
you constantly spin off, which is really impressive. I think more than any other person at the company. You kind of like do something, start it up, get it going, and then spin off and like reinvent yourself,
I get
like
bored.
the Lady Gaga.
I got to find new things to
isn't
do.
it usually like you're like I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm no good at this.
Yeah, like
Someone else-
by then it's like we should really hire someone who knows what they're doing to do this.
I think at one point, correct me if I'm
It's
wrong.
been like that with all of it, with everything.
Well, I feel like every department we have originally came from one person
Yeah,
because it was so few people. Like tech is a whole department, but for a while that was you. Events is a whole department, that was also you. Like there's a whole merch department that used to be Jeff.
hmm
It's crazy. Like all of these huge departments, sometimes splitting into multiple departments, originally stem from one person's job.
Because I think it's like we start doing something and we kind of
Sophie's gone.
figure
I was
out
going to insult the marketing department, but Sophie left.
the best way we could kind of do something, and then we're like, all right, well, let's hire somebody who's good
Yeah,
at this.
It's like, well, obviously we can't make this work.
Yeah.
So I went out to. I've been trying to make a concerted effort to go out to the movie theater more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you gone to the new Mueller one?
I haven't been down there yet.
Really
I
nice.
figure it's been too packed probably with so new.
No,
No,
not. No.
Two-pack
let's
was
check
it?
it
It's
out.
all about Regal theaters.
What?
Regal.
Regal sucks.
So I went last weekend. I went and I saw Get Out, which was awesome. And then yesterday I went and I saw Logan. Which was really good. I thought.
You thought it was good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
But of course I did the fucking stupid thing. I wanted to beat myself up. So what was it on Friday evening? I'd been drinking a little. I was talking to Esther. I was like, "You want to go see Logan on Sunday?" She's like, "Yeah." And so I opened up the Draft House app on my phone. I'm like, "Oh, there's a 1 p.m. showing, 1:10. Want to see it 1:10 on Sunday?" Like, she's like, "Yeah." Bought the tickets. Didn't think about it. Sunday showed up at the theater. I was like, "Pick up my tickets." They swipe your credit card. They hand it to me. They're like, "All right, theater 3." Walk over to theater 3. I'm like, "Huh? It says Kong Skull Island on it.
What?
That's weird." They look at my tickets again. Like, "No, 1:10. This is the right time. It's the wrong movie." Maybe they moved it to another screen. So I walk around the Draft House like, "No, they're not showing it at 1:10. Look at my ticket again. It's 1:10 on Saturday."
Oh no.
So I had to go back to. So
They're
that was
usually quite good about that, though. They usually like.
yeah, they were really good. But I told Esther, like, "Listen, I fucked up. I was drunk. I bought it for Saturday instead of Sunday." I was like, "Let's just go." And she was like, "Well, why don't you go tell them that you made a mistake and maybe they can refund you your money or give you a rain check?" I was like, I don't want to go admit to them that I fucked up. Like, I don't want to go up to them and be like, "Listen, it's my fuck up. Can you help me fix the thing that's my
they
fault?"
did.
Yeah.
But they absolutely did.
Yeah.
And,
They're really good. I think
That was
because it's
awesome.
Austin and most people are drunk all the time when they buy movie tickets, they have to be like, "Yeah, you got the wrong day," but that happens like 7 or 8 times a day.
I felt really bad because then no one probably sat there on that Saturday show. It was an empty seat and they lost revenue. It's like so dumb.
Have you ever like just kind of like been thinking about something else and like drive through like fast food and like they're like, okay, sir, pay us. You're like, all right, here's this, and then you're like kind of waiting, and then you just drive off, and you're like, oh, I forgot my food,
That's never happened. to me.
but
Why are
I'm
you so
way too
distracted?
embarrassed to
to
go
go
back
back, yeah.
and ask for my food. Sometimes you just not even thinking, just like completely zoned out
So-
on something else.
Gus, you lost like $25. No, you ended up getting it back, right?
Yeah.
So my most recent trip to San Francisco, my girlfriend lives out there. I was gonna fly out Friday, and then I was gonna fly back
Did you book a flight on the wrong day?
Sunday, like late at night, and then just get back Monday morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I booked a fucking flight for Sunday at 12:35 a.m. thinking, oh, this is Sunday night, Monday morning, and it ended up being Sunday morning. And I remember like opening up my phone and looking, and it was like check-in time, for your next flight in Dallas to Austin, and I was like, fuck me. So I ended up spending like $400 to
So it just went straight down the toilet?
gone,
Oh,
That
that's
sucks.
awful.
just fucking gone.
That's why Southwest, man, it
that-
messed up.
I ever tell the story about the guys I saw at the Seattle airport who had a similar thing?
The ball cap, and he goes,
yeah, okay, I haven't told you that one.
us.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite.
They
stories.
bought a ticket and they showed up to the airport a day late.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens because you get so many reminders.
Yeah.
They're like, check in now.
I was in such a rush, and I just blew through it. And
No,
I
I'm
also
saying like I don't know how you show up to the airport a day late.
Oh. Well, I mean, I did, so. Oh, the reminders. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it was because it was at the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So I was getting those reminders like when I was fucking asleep.
See, if I told this story, you guys would be going off of me and saying I'm like the dumbest person in the world.
No.
No,
Well,
they
you
pity
are.
me because
Not.
I'm
This
never-
is
yeah.
didn't understand how time works. Which fuck ups happen, but fuck ups happen with me, and I'm just like the dumbest person in the world. I just don't understand.
It's fun to yell at you.
No, we're all dumb, though. That's why we're on this podcast.
That was
He's
just
dumb.
a nightmare trip in general.
Yeah,
Gus is
I
dumb.
bought tickets on the wrong day.
I watched Gus once try and turn on a PC. He kept thumbing the power button. He's like, "It's not working.
Not
I
plugged
just
in."
can't. I can't turn it on." And he's the tech guy for the whole company. And I was like, "Well, you got to turn the power supply on, like the switch on the back of the
Mhm.
PC." That was off. And he was like, "Oh."
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's really embarrassing. I wish
Yeah.
I hadn't told that story.
But it was like one of the first times I ever came over, and I was like, "Oh, this guy knows his shit. He's in charge of the tech for the whole company."
Couldn't
He was
fucking turn
just
the
like,
computer
he
on.
was like, "Damn it, damn it!"
I might have been drunk then also.
You might have been. And I was like, I didn't even bother checking the back. I was like, I assume he knows this.
Yeah.
And I looked at it. I was like, maybe he doesn't know that it's not turned on.
Your world
Were you
came
at the-
crashing down. You were like, oh no,
was
he's
like,
not
that's
as
why we
smart as
had
I
to
thought he
hide
was.
there.
And that day I lost all respect for you, and now we're very good friends.
Were you at the
And it's
point
never
though?
come back.
early enough where you were kind of scared to mention something because you didn't want to
Nah,
get mad? So you just like sneak in the back and like turn it on?
I don't think I was ever really scared to talk to you.
I don't think so. I'm a friendly guy.
I mean, you were like base level mean already, so it was always like I'd already been used to it just over like online interaction. So in real
Oh, that's
life,
fair.
when the meanness came through, it's like I'm used to this already.
I think
You were friendly to me when I started. I only noticed stuff
Wow.
that you were mad about when we did podcasts.
Save it all, bottle it
Yeah,
up.
so it all ball it up.
I think I broke down my walls with you by killing you with kindness.
Did
By
you
like,
fart on him?
yeah. But aside from that, I was always really, really overly nice to Gus. Like, hey, Gus, have a great day. Or I'd be like,
I hate that
hey,
shit.
Gus.
I hate it so much.
I always approach Gus and be like, can you do me a favor? And he's like, yeah, what is it? And be like, can you have a great day? And he just like, like,
That's so
but you can't be
annoying.
mad at it.
It's
So
so annoying.
I mean, were you trying to piss him off?
I was trying to like lovingly, like a little brother, kind of piss him off
Ah.
to where it's like he couldn't be mad, but you know.
I can be mad.
Was this when you were an intern?
Yeah. I was like, it took me like a couple of months to adjust and stuff, and then once I started like warming up to people, then I was like, it's like little brother farting on people, and
When are you going to adjust to me?
I thought we'd adjusted until last night when you were just like being all fucking awkward in the movie theater. I was like, oh, I guess we can't have our friends
watching
anymore.
a
then.
movie. Well, what do you want me to do?
Well, I
happened?
guess he doesn't want to talk to me
What
during this
happened?
movie.
We were sat down to watch a movie, waiting for it to start, and then Blaine goes, "What happened with us, Gavin?" And I was like, "Hey, what are you on about?
What happened to our love, Gavin?
Nothing. What do you mean?
His love and Little Roosters. It killed it. Yeah, I think that's
What are you
did it.
talking about?
I don't
I was
know.
in it for like
We used to watch movies together. We watched
watched
The
the movie.
Matrix together.
We
You
watched
invite
the
me to your
movie
house all
last
the
night.
time.
We watched one last night.
You invite me to your house all the time. You know, so we used to party together.
I don't know if it's like a real thing you've created in your head or whether you're just like being funny, dude. But load of bollocks.
No, we've separated over the years. It's
We
rough.
are closer than ever.
It's tough, you know. Sometimes the company gets big and you don't see the friends as much, and it just happens. It's all right, Gavin.
You all want to work it out? Should
Yeah.
we get someone in here?
I feel
Have a
like
talk to
this
it?
conversation and last night's conversation were what separate us.
Yeah, it's irreparable now, so it can only get worse.
Blaine, I like you, Blaine.
Oh, thanks, Gavin. I like you too.
We should.
And I
bring,
like when you direct stuff. Like
Thank
$1 million
you.
but
I did $1 million, but episode without Blaine directing the other day.
who was it, Drew?
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm getting fucking busy.
Drew's a funny guy.
I thought he did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I have a theory that
Jealous.
if Dan came to Austin, he would probably be one of my best friends. I'd probably hang out with Dan a whole lot.
What makes you say that?
It's
don't
like
know.
when people like think that they're friends with the people they're watching on TV.
Oh, jeez.
You think I watch your content?
It's like you and I would be best friends if we met.
No, based on interactions that I've had with Dan, I think that
Alright.
we would get along swimmingly.
Be sure that you've only hung out like 5 or 6 times.
No, we've hung out more than that.
mean,
Every
Dan's-
time I see him, we
So
like
you
have
should
these like really
already
long...
get along swimmingly
Fuck,
then.
we went tubing down the river together. He met my old
Yeah.
girlfriend, and we hung out and had this great day. And you weren't there because you fucking ducked out. Me and Dan, we'd be great friends. I'll text him right now.
Dan's really nice to everybody, though.
I don't think I have his number, but
Just DM
Dan
him.
and I'd be great friends.
Do you really not have
Just
his
DM
phone
him
number?
on Twitter.
I don't know. Maybe I don't trust that because he got hacked that one time. So I don't trust that it'd be Dan talking to me. Yeah.
It's a good
What
point.
kind of compromising information are you going to send him?
My number, I guess.
That's
Pretty
Yeah,
hard
I
just
have
to
my
get a
number.
new phone number.
Yeah, true.
How long have you had your phone number?
Oh man, this is my first ever phone number.
Really?
Yeah. How about you? Are
So
you?
you've had it like a year?
No, I've had it since I was. How old was I?
You're so proud of that.
5th grade.
You got a phone number in 5th grade?
It was in middle school. It's like probably like 12, 13, 12, 13.
Why were you 13 in 5th grade?
I said middle school. I changed it to middle school.
Ah.
So that's about the 12, 13 region, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it's a good number. You wanna hear it?
How old were you when you got your first phone number?
I was probably 15.
Yeah, that's
I had,
about,
I had a Nokia 3210.
Yeah,
Played some Snake on it.
I had that one too.
that's about 14. It was one of those things parents get you like only for emergencies, and then you just don't listen and you use it a lot, and then they have like the printed out bill at the end of the month.
Oh my god.
Like, you cost us like $500.
Was that a part of everybody's childhood that you'd
Yeah,
have
of
that
course.
talk and they'd be like, "We're giving this to you. no, better not fuck around with this. This is only for emergency. Like, yeah, oh yeah, sure. And you're just saying anything to get that phone, and then once you got it, it's like texting.
I mean, does pay as you go not exist here?
It
I don't
does,
know how
but it's not as
was.
popular.
Weird. It's like everyone's first phone in England is pay as you go. It's like you slop a tenner on it, and then once you've used it,
That's it.
yeah.
Well, plans are a lot different then than they are now.
Planes?
Plans.
Oh, plans.
Yeah, so it was one of those things like only for emergencies. I changed my number when I got to Austin because I like having local numbers where I live. I
Why?
feel like it's annoying to be like, have an area code that's like
I
different.
feel like it doesn't really matter as much anymore these days since everyone has like contacts just stored in a phone. You're just like touching a person's name.
That was a thing that was super weird for me when I moved here, is that a mobile phone can have an area code. And you can
Really?
tell where the person is from based on their phone number.
Yeah,
It
people are
actually
always
comes
like,
up
"Oh,
on-
Dallas, huh?"
It took me a long time. The first couple times I went to Australia, they do it like the UK. It took me a long time to figure out what the different codes meant, like the different numbers.
Yeah. Like any number in the UK that starts with like 01 or 02 is a landline, and every number starts with a 07 is a mobile. But the entire country starts with 07. It's not like different mobile number area codes. So
I
you have
heard-
no idea where someone's calling from.
I heard the biggest crock of shit, which was I had a friend from LA meets this girl, things are going great, they're talking and stuff like that, and like they were really hitting it off, and then they decided to swap numbers, and she saw that his area code was from like one of the slummier parts of LA, I guess, which is like it's LA's, it's nice throughout. I'm sure they have their nice and their bad parts, and she just like walked off straight up because like out in LA they
That's a Seinfeld episode.
it happened to him as
Yeah.
well.
So what determines your area code? Is it just where you buy the SIM card? Where you buy the
I
phone?
think it's your
Address.
Yeah, it's your address.
Ah.
But then they
so
add-
I couldn't get a different area code if I went to California and bought a SIM card.
You probably could.
I think you just call and request a new number and say this is the area code I want.
Yeah, you
I
can
mean,
prob-
you can do
you probably
anything.
do that.
The confusing though is they keep adding area codes to places. Like Houston has like.
I feel like
4.
I finally saw like a commercial vehicle driving in Austin with the 737 area code.
Really?
Yeah, and that's been around for like almost 2 or 3 years now at this point.
Yeah, they tried to give Paula one when we changed numbers, and I was like, yeah, it defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do here. And like we had to go in there, and she had to talk to like this like guy who thought she was really cute, and he was like, "I'll give you a deal. Don't worry, I'll fix it." And I was like, "Well, whatever it takes." Yeah.
No, it's not a big deal to me. Like I said, I never even
Yeah,
realized
it's just a
your
name in a phone book.
your area code isn't Austin.
Yeah, it's Dallas. We don't really. I mean,
I texted
we've
you.
all
I
we've
texted you
separated
today.
a lot. Like
Oh,
we haven't
God.
talked as long. Our relationship is just quite as.
I think here's the problem with the friendships of this company. Everyone's too busy focusing on the status of the friendship and like how it is. But just have a passing friendship and nothing will happen to it. It's fine.
Okay, I'm
Like,
watching
I'm never
cartoons
gonna
in my apartment, so
I'm never
come
gonna
on over.
walk past you and not say hello. Unless you like punch me one day or something.
That's true.
How would you define our friendship?
Is that our friendship
I'd
though?
say the same. I'd say like, hey, what's up, Brendan?
That's the extent
Something
of the
like that.
friendship, though. It's not friendship. Remember when we had a secret handshake? Where did that happen to
You had a
those times?
secret handshake?
No, he's just chatting shit again. He's just doing the weird thing again.
It's a secret
See, this is
handshake.
what
You
would-
forgot about it.
This is what makes me walk away from a friendship. Just like, man,
High
it's gonna,
maintenance.
it's gonna get weird if I'm gonna go the other way. I'll pretend to be on the phone.
Oh no!
So your definition of a friendship is saying hello as you pass by
No,
somebody?
friendship. I would define it as like, oh, I'll help that person out if
If they ask for it. That's fair
if
enough.
they need it, or if like I'll hold the door open for you. I'll hold the door open for anyone. It's
was
not
it-
friendship, is it really?
Yeah, then you're friends with like random strangers. I hate when I hold the door open for like someone like a stranger and they don't say thanks.
It's
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Or,
Oh,
they just walk by like they're entitled to that.
I make a good point and say, "You're welcome."
Oh,
I always do that.
Come
I don't give a
on,
fuck.
take it in stride.
Nah,
see,
I don't
I'm
give a
too
shit.
English to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I would love to do that
No, I do that all the time.
because a lot of people are rude. But I don't like it when people hold the door open for me and I'm just too far from the
Yeah.
door. If I'm like 25 feet away, I feel like I got to rush.
I will also acknowledge that. I am very good at acknowledging when people are shits or acknowledging really awkward moments. Like the last time that happened, I'd be like, "Oh fuck, I'm in that weird area where it's like too far, too short," and then the girl laughed and it was fine. And then like the other day, I was at the top of a wall. Someone touched my hand. I was like, "Oh, we just had a moment." It's just like you just diffuse the situation. You run up to somebody in the hallway and then you do that little thing. It's like, "Ha, we're dancing," and then end it. Otherwise, you're just like, just call it out.
Does it make you feel weird when, if you're hanging out with somebody and you say goodbye, and it's like, all right, goodbye, bye, 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 and then all of a sudden you realize you're both going in the same direction,
Yeah.
but you've
Yeah.
already said, like, Jason Harder, who we use a lot for stuff, he was hanging out at the restaurant on my apartment complex.
Oh yeah.
And, it was a natural thing where we got outside and he's like, oh, okay, bye. And then the garage is the same place as Paul and I's apartment. And so she started walking in the same direction they were going, and I had to like grab her arm, and I was like, no, we already said goodbye. We have to go this way. She's like, but that's like it's like 5 minutes out of the way. I was like, no, we can't.
You just call that out. Like I would be in that situation, be like, oh, why are you following me? Ha 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 ha, and then everything's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Awkward shit happens. People are awkward. So
It's worse when both people go into a lift and you literally can't go any other way.
I've never had that happen before. Also, we don't have a lift anymore.
I think he needs an elevator.
Elevator?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, apparently we've been good friends. You don't know I'm English.
Oh shit. He got
Damn,
me.
yeah, the friendship burn.
He nailed me on that one. I did see a funny on Twitter moments. They're like, people are in an uproar about Twitter or Uber and Lyft not being in Austin, and someone made a really good point in saying like, in an event filled with tech people, just people that are like all about tech, they can't figure out their own way around Austin with the ride shares and stuff like that.
It's annoying.
It is, but yeah, I don't know, it's weird.
I won't get into it because obviously I'll just rant. But
yeah,
it
you
says
were really
something
into the whole
where
politics thing of it.
There's like Uber can operate in like 400 cities,
Mhm.
and not this one. And Austin thinks it's so right
We did
ethically,
vote
and
them, yeah.
they're the only one or one of the few that seems to have a problem. But I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to bitch about it. But it is funny, like people, some like reporters, like very popular tech reporters, have been commenting not so much on that, but how much animosity they get from local Austin people about commenting about that.
What do you mean?
Like on Twitter, people just like will attack the people here from out of town that complain about Uber or Lyft. Like they just like viciously. I mean, it's Twitter. You're gonna have like haters and stuff, but it just like makes the city look like super shitty.
I'm not a fan of the ride share services that we have as a replacement.
Fasten.
Yeah,
They're not great.
They don't work that well. I haven't found one that I'm like totally happy. And it's not that I use it very frequently. The other day I used a Cardigo. It had been a long time since I used Cardigo. Any of you guys use that?
I used to. I let it lapse.
Nah.
Is that when you drove up to the?
Yeah, that's when I drove in the car.
vlog?
So I knew that they had like those little smart cars, and I drove up and you saw me in that shitty little car.
Yeah.
And then I went to get Chipotle that day for lunch, and I parked it, and I saw a Cardigo that was a Mercedes GLK.
What?
Parked there, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I just canceled my little smart car, and I switched over to the Mercedes. I was like, "That was much better."
Just for the sake of
That guy was probably like, fuck. Like, how am I going to get back to work in this piece of shit?
So is it any different amount of money?
I think it costs like a little more, but not much. But I will say, I was a little upset at people. Like I got in that smart car, and it was a little dirty, like like a gum wrapper or stuff like that. And there's like, oh, like who would leave their shit like this? So then I park it, go over, get in the Mercedes. It was even filthier. That was not what I had, but that is my Cardigo, a Mercedes Cardigo. But it was just filthy. There was trash all over. It was like an empty water bottle in the passenger seat.
Because everyone's clamoring for that car.
The door well was just like shoved with like Whataburger wrappers. There was like an empty vitamin pack thrown into the back seat, like GNC receipts all over the floorboard. I was like, who the fuck does this?
Bros do.
Like
GNC?
Treat that car like that and then just leave it. Like not even take your fucking trash. Someone has to clean it. Like what do they think's gonna happen? The car's gonna fucking magically incinerate all of their goddamn trash? Clean it up, you fucking animals.
Yeah, like you have some like God-given right because you register for the service. It's like you almost have to actively try to make that car look shittier.
There should be
because
cameras.
like how long are you using it?
And I looked at that car. It had 900 miles on it. It was like still
That's
a
ridiculous.
brand new car.
There should be cameras in the car that are in the ceiling that just take pictures when someone is done with it, of the state of it, and they'll just penalize that account.
It used to be that.
I think they're too desperate for business.
Yeah, it used to be when you finished your rental on the screen in the car, it would ask if there was any new damage on the car. And it would ask if the car was clean or dirty. But it doesn't ask if the car's clean or dirty anymore. I don't know.
I guess everyone's pressing yes, it's dirty every time.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm surprised they're still in business in Austin after Uber and because they were operating before Uber and Lyft for like a couple years. I don't know how they're still in business. That's why I stopped using them because I was like, well, this is way more convenient. I don't have to like walk a mile to find a car.
Last night when I was going to Paramount Theater, was that where it was?
Oh, that was where I was like, let's hang out, and then you left. Yeah.
What do you mean?
What?
I went to the movie with you. I hung out with you.
I mean after that.
You didn't want to hang out with me afterwards.
No, that's true. I just wanted to make you feel
Because
bad.
I remember
wanted to go
remember very clearly because Ashley was like, "All right, well, I guess we're all heading out. You guys heading out? Yeah." And Ashley looked at you and she's like, "Do you need a ride home? Great." And you both just walked off and was like, "Yeah, I'll see you guys later. It's cool." I walked home.
She took me home in the G-Wagon.
Oh, that's a cool thing.
That's a nice car.
It's like a very nicer version of my Jeep. But
You're so demanding.
what do you mean?
When it comes to like how you're treated and in these social
You're very
situations that you're getting
high-maintenance.
invited to, yeah, you're very,
Very high maintenance.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm not dating you, but I'm
I'm
happy.
a breeze to date.
Are you
Ask
really?
Alana. Yeah, no, it's great. It's easy. I'm so easy to date.
What's the selling point?
Yeah, what makes you easy to date? What does that mean?
Oh man, we do all the activities that they want to do.
So you can't make a decision on your own?
No, that's not true. I can make decisions.
And are you doing them because you're excited and you want to do them, or are you just trying to please?
A little bit of both. Most of the time, it's because I want to. Because Alana and I have been dating for like over a year now.
Imagine a lot of similar interests.
A lot of similar interests. So we can do sometimes where we have like really active, outdoorsy kind of like, let's go out and experience this thing. You dribble on your shirt, and then there's other times where it's
Nobody saw
like,
it, but okay.
hey, let's stay in and like beat a video game. It's like.
What's the last video game you beat with her?
We played Coming Home, or was that what it was called? Were you
Gone
coming-
Home?
Gone Home.
Good game.
And then we also played something where you're like a FBI agent and you're doing some investigation.
Oh, is it a Her Story?
Yes, Her Story.
Her Story's so
have
good.
Have you ever played PT with her?
Yes, that was our first date. That was a.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I should be saying all this stuff. It's kind of getting into our personal stuff. Yeah, we played PT together. It was a good time.
What could that possibly?
Did you lose your virginity while playing PT? I mean,
No.
like you're
It was gone, way gone before the PT. No, so basically we were hanging out. That was like our first night hanging out. And like, you don't go like, we'd been talking to each other for a while, distance wise. And so we were like, let's go get pizza. Let's go, like, oh, let's play this game and stuff like that. But we hadn't like kissed yet. And I remember in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to kiss her until like well after we beat PT. Well, it took for us for fucking ever to beat PT. We finally did it. And then after that was when our first kiss took place. So.
You're so sweet.
What was the moment like that moment where you're playing PT and something happened and you knew this was?
No, it wasn't during PT. It was like after, because PT is not a very romantic game.
Yeah, which is why I'm confused.
Right.
There's
That's
a
probably
fetus in the sink.
that's half of the reason why I didn't want to sell the stories, because then you guys are gonna.
I guess there's certain times where like the lights pulse red. I guess that's kind of
romantic.
romantic.
Yeah, they had your
sexy.
Hue bulbs that you love so much.
What is
Yeah,
it?
I know. I can't do that, or Paula freaks out. Like she just like I can't.
Oh,
if you, like,
after the
pulsation-
incident?
Yeah, the pulsing.
Oh, I thought you
I
were
was
saying
thinking you'd like walk into the room and shift everything red and be like,
Yeah, no, it's purple.
oh,
Purple's
that's your shag
sex.
color.
Go to yeah, the red freaks her out.
Have you seen that new show on Comedy Central, The High Court?
Mm-mm.
It's got Doug Benson in it, and it's like the People's Court, except Doug Benson gets really high and then makes his decisions while smoking marijuana. And
serious?
And the episodes are only like 15 minutes long. So it's like the people come in, they argue, he deliberates, so he goes into the back with the bailiff and they like smoke out of a bong, then he comes out and makes his decision.
So what are these like? Is it just typical like, oh, they owe me money,
Right,
or they
like-
fix it? Like
That person borrowed my car and owes me $5,000, or
sweating.
that person borrowed money from me and they gotta pay me back. So it's always stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then
So is this upheld in like the actual court of law? Like
I
none of
assume
those shows.
what they do is they just make an agreement ahead of time that whoever is on the show, like they're gonna abide by whatever the ruling is. One of the times, I forget what the exact circumstance was, but like one person had taken out a payday loan to give another person money, and it's like they were getting ripped off. So like their decision was just like, the show, we're gonna pay off your payday loan, and we'll just help you get a loan with a reasonable APR. I was like, oh, that's really nice. Like they went out of their way to like help this person who's getting screwed over, like because they made a bad deal. Like there's no reason for them to have to do that. Anyway, it's really funny. It's and like I said, the episodes are only like 15 minutes long.
you ever seen
Absolutely watch it.
you seen High Maintenance?
No.
It's just in terms of like really small consumable like media and stuff like that. High Maintenance, they kind of range. It's like a web series. It ranges from like 5 to like 15 minutes, but it's basically about a weed dealer, and just like the story isn't about the weed dealer. You don't even know the guy's name. It's just the story is about who he's dealing the weed to. I think you would really enjoy it because it's like really funny and really well written. But I think they picked it up from HBO.
I'll look it up right now.
High maintenance.
High
I
maintenance.
get it.
High Maintenance, American comedy television web series created by husband and wife team Ben Sinclair and Katya
damn.
Blickfeld.
Yeah.
Vimeo, November 2012. Began airing in HBO in September 2016. So it's already on HBO. You can already see it.
Yeah, it's good. I would suggest it. It's a good web series.
That transition to television. So we finally have a release date. Speaking of HBO, we finally have a release date for season 7 of Game of Thrones. Which is July 16th.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's way later than
I think they had to wait because they needed to shoot a
And
lot
so
of the scenes in winter.
It's like 7 episodes now, right?
Is it only 7 episodes?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Which means the standard procedure, really good 9th episode of the season. What's going to happen with that?
So they're gonna have no good episodes this season.
Unless
is
episode 2 of the next season is the good one.
what you're saying. Or do they do it like episode 6, like the season, the one before the last?
Wait.
I mean,
What's
TV
the logic there, Gavin?
Well, usually a Game of Thrones season is 10 episodes,
Right.
And 9 is the one where like
Crazy
everything
shit.
happens.
Yeah.
In like almost every season.
This one's only 8 episodes.
7.
7. Sorry, just not getting caught up on the
Yeah,
conversation.
there's 2 more
'cause I'm fucking
seasons
mad
and-
at you.
Each season's
is that
7 episodes.
confirmed that it's only 7 episodes?
That's kind of.
We're getting a yes from off camera.
Wait. So is this
Confirmed
like?
by
Is this
what?
it? Was this the last season?
IMDb?
No, I think there's 2 more seasons.
Okay.
It's weird because like TV shows used to be, you'd have hour-long TV shows that were like 22 episodes in a season, and then now it's like, oh, it's 6, or we need like a year and a half.
It's going
break.
like the
It's done
British
way.
Yep, the British way of doing it.
Someone said quantity over quality.
So
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, the IMDb does say 7 episodes.
in Westworld's
didn't like
not going to
those,
be until 2018. Is that correct?
Probably.
You didn't like those Nikki and Paulo episodes in Lost?
This is
Just
episode 8.
let it guff, wasn't it?
Fill that
Season
up.
8's going to be 6 episodes. It says. Yeah, Nikki and Paul. I forgot about that.
Just like classic filler episode.
And
It's
he's-
almost to the point where like they know they are making a useless filler episode.
But he was in Westworld.
Oh yeah, that was that guy, wasn't
Paulo
it?
was?
Yeah, he's. Like,
Oh, was he was naked?
well, I mean, they were all naked. That doesn't really narrow it
Yeah,
down.
he was
in
naked a
Westworld.
lot.
He was the
The bad guy,
yeah,
the robber. Yeah.
and he was in 300.
Who?
With the
Who?
bald head.
Mm.
Paulo from. Did you watch Lost?
No.
Rodrigo.
I dropped out after season 1, man.
and he was in
Really?
Love Actually.
Fucking
First 2
It-
seasons
Snow
are
Bear.
really good.
polar
Before
bear shows up. I was like,
before the Nikki and Paulo episode, didn't they like sprinkle him in
Yeah, he was
to
like.
some of the episodes? Like they had lines and stuff. And it was
Yeah.
like, who the fuck are these background characters that are?
Yeah,
I remember
they're
liking
popping
that
up.
episode.
I thought it was okay.
the one where they die.
They died.
Nikki and Paulo.
I don't think they. Well, yeah, I guess they did.
They were buried alive. I mean, I
Buried
remember
alive,
like
yeah.
the first time they come in, they just randomly run up to this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and like Kate's like, "Hey, Nikki and Paulo," and you're like, "What?"
Yikes.
And then I think like they do a montage where you see other stuff that happened in the show, and they're all of a sudden like now into it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, classic filler episodes. So I got chewed out the other day by
Oh.
a random stranger at a place in Austin.
Were you
Like
being
a-
obnoxious?
No, I just made like a very simple comment. We were at a
What was the place?
it's on Old Torf near South Lamar. I can't remember the name, but it's like a they only have beer. Most of the seating's outside, and they also serve pizza.
Oh, Austin Beer Garden.
Okay, yeah. So
I can answer everything. People can just describe stuff. That's what I do this podcast. Nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Coffee
So-
shop on East MLK.
B News.
Serves Pete. Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Go ahead. Sorry.
so
Fuck me.
they served pizza, and it was good. I was ordering it, and I kind of commented like, yeah, I like the indie places around town. Like, don't get me wrong, I go to a lot of these cool Austin hip places, but at the end of the day, like, sometimes I still really like Papa John's, like deep dish, the cheesy bread. And this guy next to us overheard me and started like berating me, like I was this like super corporate, hate indie business. And I'm like, look, man, I've done my share here.
Were you wearing your McDonald's cap at the time?
My what cap? No.
It's a joke, man. Fucking move on.
And he like wouldn't give it up, and I'd make stuff like, yeah, I mean, like their freaking special garlic sauce is amazing. And at one point, he like shouted and called me like, "What are you, like ISIS?" And I was just like, this is probably some like stereotypical Austin asshole that's only been in the city for like 2 years. And
What a fucker.
unless you're going to like the most indie places, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
At
that
the end of
guy's
the
a
day,
prick.
some big corporate companies, they have good products. Papa John's is good.
Yeah, they're big companies for a reason, right?
Yeah, or sometimes they're big companies for the right reasons. I
No,
don't
I'm
like.
saying they're there for a reason. Like they have
Yeah.
a product that people buy.
Yeah, but
man,
have you interacted with people like that before? Like Austin, like, oh, if you're not indie, or like, Like, I figure out
never
that
to
is
that
a-
extreme.
I would have just destroyed that guy. Been like, who the fuck asked you? You know, like if he'd butted
how old
in.
was the guy? Was he like a tired old racist man? Or
No,
was he
he's like 32,
Oh,
like long
dickhead.
beard, mustache.
What
like,
a shit.
I mean, it's like he was the exact stereotype.
How
that
long
you
did
would
this
think.
go on?
It was like 5 minutes, but then he kept coming back in the conversation.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I know you think you're being funny here, but come on, dude. You just sound like a huge douche.
Did you say that to him? Were you like,
No,
"Screw
because I
you,
was
dude"?
with Paula. I didn't want it to become a thing. Like, it took every ounce of like effort not to like say something to him
Fucking
off.
dumb. Like, what does he care? Fucking butting into someone else's conversation.
No, it's just one of those things. Like
Hipster.
those, yeah.
I would have
it's-
recorded him.
It's those people that complain about like East Austin dying when they're the ones going to the businesses in East Austin, bringing like development to those areas. It's like you're actively contributing to the thing you complain about, and you've probably been in Austin for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like super bizarre. and
Brandon, you tell
annoying.
me, do I have the right to be a curmudgeon Austinite? You knowing when I came to Austin, roughly.
I don't think I have, and I've been here for like 11 years. I feel like you can't unless you were in Austin when the old airport, like the Mueller Airport, was still active.
Okay.
To me, that's the barrier.
Because I had kind of a shitty thought about South by Southwest. I like looked up and was like, this weather fucking sucks. I'm okay with that because I don't want crowds. And I was like, am I within my own right to make that comment? And
I feel like people are here after a year and they're already complaining about South by
fuck,
Southwest.
am I one of those?
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
I used to hate South by when I first moved here, but I really like it now. I mean,
Yeah.
if
It's
I
cool.
if I don't want to be involved, I just avoid downtown or avoid going to the places that it affects.
Same, but
Yeah.
it did hinder. Like I was like, oh, I'd love to go to like Violet Crown or something like
Mm.
that this weekend, or get a drink at Second Part. And then I was like, fucking South by,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Just find another place to go
Yeah,
for 1 weekend or two.
via 313. God damn, I want.
But when you go to Starbucks, do you go to Starbucks? You're like,
What?
Why
Starbucks?
why not Binu?
Binu, bro.
Bitch.
I'm that guy.
So, put you on the spot. I went to a diner on
That's just
East
horrible.
East somewhere in East Austin.
These are
It's like a diner and it's connected to a coffee place right next to it.
Somewhere in East Austin.
I think it's East Caesar.
Oh, I never go down there. I couldn't answer that.
East Caesar. and
No,
what?
no, no. It's East 6 and it's near Whistler's.
I don't know.
I heard a
You
lip
stumped me.
smack as if someone was going to answer that.
Well,
I saw everyone
know.
over there just go.
So I had a weird thing, like, I don't know if I'm being unreasonable here. They had porridge, right? And it sounded kind of good, but it's all porridge. There's like nothing else for you to like beef up your meal with. And I asked for a side so I could try it.
But
But
give
like,
you more porridge.
but they wouldn't. Like the only way I could do it is if I bought like the
Entree.
$15 bowl of porridge.
Oh, you couldn't get like I see what you're saying. You couldn't get a side of porridge.
Yeah, and that's a huge commitment because I got a whole day ahead of me. Doesn't that seem like ridiculous? Like they can't just give me it's like soup, like a side of it.
Right, like they
That's
did.
just like a huge risk.
I could see
But I
that.
guess for them, it's like asking for a side of steak.
No, but it's a side
No,
of
but it's
soup.
not like the porridge. Like you don't have to cut a piece of porridge off. You're not ruining all of the porridge, right? It's like it's in a big container
Already.
already.
Like a rotating spit of porridge. like,
Right.
They
someone-
probably also have like a big ol' thing back in the kitchen. I don't think it would have been that hard for them to be like fill up a small cup and be like, here,
Yeah, that seems
try
totally
this.
reasonable.
Yeah. And it's like how often you have porridge? That's a risk. Does
I
it
don't
make
think I've
sense?
ever had porridge.
I know, but if you saw porridge, wouldn't you be like, I don't know, maybe.
I'd say, please, sir, I want some more.
Very good.
More.
That was good.
Let's play out the scene. Keep going. Come on.
That's all I know.
What's
Okay.
next in that scene?
I don't know.
That's where you're pointing.
I have a formal complaint
You do
with broadcast.
with broadcast.
What's with this clickbait thumbnail bullshit on the last on the spot? Who's responsible?
What?
He made the thumbnail? He put my face in his shitty thumbnail?
So I clicked. I was like looking through the Rooster Teeth app, and I don't really watch on the spot all that often unless it's like
Is it this one?
crazy cast.
It's my big old
and
face.
I saw Gavin's face on the thumbnail. I was like, fuck, Gavin was on the spot. Like I feel like they would have made a bigger ordeal out of that. And I clicked it, and it wasn't. It was someone with a mask. And I was like, Gavin's gonna be pissed about that.
That episode gets more views than the other ones. Then I'll be pissed.
I'm sure it will. We made that joke in a RVV PSA about like just
Sorry,
having
broadcast.
something super quick in the show. Like I think
boobs or something.
yeah, we had like a girl who was like in like lingerie, and it was for literally a frame. And it's funny because when you looked at the analytics for that episode, you could see that people went back to that exact second to see it, and then that's what we put as the thumbnail, and it works.
Because I remember being a regular viewer just back in the day. I would have watched anything regardless, but I remember watching that one and it's standing like it stood out in my mind because I was like, oh, that's bullshit. It's actually really good commentary on, clickbait and thumbnails.
But people like Gavin.
Well, everyone said, man.
That's the new shirt.
Well, I remember thinking
People
like,
like Gavin.
I remember thinking like, oh look, Gavin's shoulders in the background of this video. Let's obviously put him as a thumbnail. And
Everyone-
title it Gavin.
a load of people tweeted that to me, and they're like, "Are you pissed about this?" And I was like, "No." Wait, should I be? No, I don't think I am.
And now you
I'm
are.
not really, but I'm just trying to get worked up about it.
Let me read
I'm
this.
not in the damn episode, except for on a piece of
Your
paper.
mask is. Remind everyone, this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by Classics. The critically acclaimed... I can't read anything.
Read it for you? You want to read it for you?
With CISO, you get unlimited access to CISO original series, next day late night, hilarious stand-up specials, binge-worthy classics. The critically acclaimed, new, half-improved... the exact same place.
Can I read it?
No.
Oh.
Get away. It's my job. The fuck. I was giving Barbara shit the other day about how she couldn't read her ad. Now this is the payback I get.
So is this gonna be cut now?
Yeah.
So we can say whatever?
Okay, no. Okay, here we go. With
Don't.
CISO...
Oh, I wasn't.
Thank you, CISO, and I'm sorry I messed up your ad read.
No, you did it first time.
Did it one take?
I didn't see it messed up.
I also need to promote a product.
What?
I was given a T-shirt to wear for this podcast, and I was like, "What size are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a medium." They're like, "Well, could you wear a large?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I get it, and take off my shirts, put this on, and I'm not exactly sure if
That's
this
a lot of
is
chest
the
hair.
cut that I'm supposed to have. But I'm gonna do my part, and I'm gonna promote the shirt.
You'll be able to tell by the sleeves. Like, are you asking if it's like a female cut shirt?
It is very much a.
That's yep.
Yep. Why did they get you the wrong shirt?
Although, does it make me look more muscular?
They
You
told
look like
me
you're
they
hulking
wouldn't.
out of that.
They originally were
yeah,
like,
that is
can you
like a
put that
Blaine
on?
shirt. Put it on Blaine.
Can you wear that and see what happens? I think you should slop it on.
sponsored episode, we'll do it for the first members.
First members?
Yeah, there, incentive, whatever. They asked me to originally wear that, and
yeah.
I was like, nah, it doesn't really match my outfit. Glad I'm
sweaty.
glad I missed out on it because it's a good shirt.
I'm
but
doing my
the-
part. What does
the
the shirt
fit?
say?
This is
Boston.
Wicked
Boston.
awesome Boston Rooster Teeth.
I like our
awesome.
local
The local
Rooster Teeth shirts.
Yeah.
Do we have a London one being made?
I assume so. Got a little bit of time on that still.
Yeah.
Not
When
much.
is that? October?
It's October. I forget the exact date. Let me look it up.
Are you going?
I don't know. I don't think we have made those announcements yet.
Good dodge. Did
Am
you
I
see that?
going?
Crafty.
What?
I don't think I'm.
I don't know
Oh.
who's going either, so don't look at me.
Let's see. RTX London, October 14th and 15th.
I'm going.
Those tickets just went on sale. Right?
I think
Yeah,
I
I've
think
been
it
seeing
did.
people tweet
Was
about
it double
Double gold.
gold?
And first is on Wednesday, and then the public will be this Friday.
How much is VIP?
Let me look. I do not know off the top of my head.
Gavin, if I went to London, would you like
VIP
hang out with me
is-
and show me all the London places?
350 pounds. But day passes are 27 pounds. 45 for the weekend. What is that? What's going on?
I mean, I didn't spend much time in London when I was there.
Okay.
I didn't live in London. I used to work in like industrial London, but I never really was like hanging out by Big Ben and that.
Is that where
It's,
people?
it's just as new to me as it is to you.
Oh,
people
okay.
have
well,
the
then we can go
Cockney
experience things
in
together.
industri- Do they? Do they really? Is that still really a thing?
Yeah, Cockneys are real. They're not fictional.
No.
creatures.
I just don't know if it was still like
Oh,
common
yeah.
thing.
Watch EastEnders.
All right.
You never seen
Hello.
I've
EastEnders?
never seen these tenders.
Right over my head.
I have an accent.
Yeah, like it's interesting to me the different.
You hate
British
the UK, right?
accents. No, I like the UK. It grew on me. I feel like the last couple of times I went.
I think the first couple of times you went and I met you there when I was still in England, you were like, this place sucks.
I did not have a good time my first couple of times there. I mean, I met you. A bunch of other things went wrong.
What's wrong with it? Why do
Nothing's
you
wrong
hate
with it.
Englanders?
They sucked up everything in customs and then took the weekend off, didn't they?
Yeah,
One time.
yeah. I had
So we
trouble
had,
getting stuff in.
We had nothing to sell at the booth, and we were there all weekend.
That's the second time that happened to me.
And that was at MCM.
MCM.
I bet you really stood out though.
You should have done
Like
a Star
everybody saw
Wars, and you should have
Raider
sold
scene.
pictures of the product as like a IOU.
That was when we ran to the ice machine, and then
Oh,
I
yeah.
tackled you in your hotel room.
And
My
then we
bruised you.
wrestled, and I was fucking hungover, getting on a plane the next day. Like, why the fuck am I so sore? I went to the bathroom and looked at myself. I was covered in welts.
That was when I had to take the underground to get out of London, and I had to get off at a random station to vomit, and then get back on.
I thought I was gonna vomit before at Heathrow before I got on the flight.
I am
was
never
so hungover.
after so I would come over to America and I'd getting involved with all these people, drinking and that, and then I'd go home and just stop doing that because there's no need to drink every day when you're living in England. But as soon as I'd meet up with someone from Rooster Teeth, it would be straight in the deep end. Like I'd meet up with Gus for the first time in like a year, and he would just get me absolutely like ruined.
Yeah, that's
How old were you?
So we did.
For that one, I was probably like 22.
Yeah, old enough. Shut
Old
up.
enough.
I'm saying,
Super drunk in a while.
can you drink when you're 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You
like
can shag at 16.
you can shag much earlier.
Well, legally?
Yeah.
That
You
would
just have to wait for your balls to drop.
They
Around
like
13,
if
right?
you look.
They're there. Let's go.
No, I'm saying it's just like I need. Do we have something to demonstrate? with-
I'm sure
don't,
you've got
fresh
something
out,
to
it's all right.
demonstrate with.
Get Brandon a balloon or like a small.
I need to close this. This is so weird.
Well, you're a team player for still putting that on.
Yeah, I wanted to help. Do my part.
And not anymore. What's
I feel awkward.
Nice sweater. Where's it from?
I don't know. It was a birthday present, but I found it early because Paula ordered from Amazon, and the box was just sitting on our table for like a week, and I was like, well, I got to put this away. And then she got mad at me. She's like, that was your birthday present. How can you open it? I was like, it was sitting here for a week.
Fair enough.
That's my story. That's what being married's like.
how do you have a package sitting around for a week unopened? That's
I know.
crazy.
That was my
Yeah.
point. I was like, well, I'm gonna open this.
Dude, I need to open mail this year at some point.
Yeah, you should.
What does that mean?
Well, I decided that I don't like real paper mail, so I just don't open it. And I was gonna see what would happen in my life if I just never open any mail. So since November, I haven't opened any that I've got.
But
And it's like a deep worry now.
There's
Like,
probably
something
some
in
mail
there.
you need to take
but,
care of.
But the more mail, the longer I leave it, the more nervous I am to open it.
Just open it little by little.
That would take me a long time.
so you haven't checked it in November? We sent out our RSVPs for our wedding way before November. Did you?
I got that. I got it. It's just
Was that what convinced you? The RSVP? You're like, fuck it, I'm done with mail. Nothing good comes.
I'm now worried that I'm gonna get arrested for like tax evasion or something because I didn't see a bill. Or
That
didn't
would
pay a
suck.
bill somewhere,
Or
or
get
like
deported.
someone's gonna come and repossess some of my furniture. But so far, nothing bad has happened.
Yeah, I mean that's how your credit gets fucked. I'm scared I'm gonna get summoned for jury duty and I'm not gonna see it. And it's weird. I mean, I've never had a jury duty summons. Like, how do they pick?
You've never had one?
No.
Have you ever had one, Blaine?
I've always, when I was a student, so I've always been like, oh, sorry, got the class.
I've never had one either.
That's weird.
I had one
Maybe-
for like federal where I had to like drive to another town.
Yikes.
But
Is that where you're on a grand jury or?
I don't remember the specific details, but it was when I first moved to Austin. When I first moved back to Austin, I hadn't updated my voter registration, so it was still registered out on the border. So I got summoned to federal court out on the border, and it's like a 3.5 hour drive away. So I drove there on the date I was told to. Got to the courthouse, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we reschedule that. That's next week."
That's insane.
That's the worst.
So I was like, "Can I get out of it?" Like, because I drove 3.5 hours to be here. Like, "Oh yeah, we'll just take your name off the list."
Oh, sweet.
I was like, "Sweet." So I just went home.
That's crazy.
I'm in a good position because if I get summoned in England, I'm living abroad, and I won't get summoned here. So, job done.
I feel like people worry about it too much. Like, since I've never, other than that one time, I've never had it. It's like some people are always like, "Oh, they dread it."
There's a lot of things based on this situation I have where I'm not a resident, I'm not a permanent resident, and I'm not a citizen. I'm on a work visa. But it's very convenient when it comes to like getting into the country because anyone who's on an ESTA or a visa waiver, which is like tourism into the US, now uses those machines. And then you have to get a printout and thing. And any citizen of Canada and permanent residents also use that machine. To the point where and like certain visas also use that too, to the point where the only people who don't have to use the machine are people on like really obscure visas like mine. So when I get off a plane into the US, everyone like gets in a huge line for all those machines, and I just go straight to a person. I'm always like the only person in the line.
Are you listed as like a outstanding alien or an extraordinary alien or something like that?
Yeah, well, yeah, on my that is the class. of
That's
my visa.
that's what Alana is too, because
Yeah,
she was like,
and there's
I'm
not-
an alien.
And there's not many of those people on a flight typically.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple. So I'm just like straight through. I'm always the first through customs, even though I'm not a citizen or a permanent resident.
Have you ever seen a long line though at the Austin airport? Because we went through international once, and it was like,
No, I don't really go through Austin.
oh, it's wonderful.
I go through Dallas.
And it's nice because in Houston they separate Paula and I, even though she has a green card. I was just like, goodbye. I hope I see you again. But in Austin, they're like super nice, super chill. There's like no lines because they have so many. Because it's a brand new customs. It just opened like a
But
year
you
and a
can
half
stay
ago.
with her, can't you?
No, not in Houston.
Whenever I go to England with Meg, instead of me going through the automated gate where you just put your passport in and the door opens, I just go in her line, and they're okay with it.
No,
And then
they
you don't
kicked
have
her
to
out.
separate.
When I was growing up, my father was in law enforcement, so he had like a radio in our house, so he could listen in case anybody was calling him and he wasn't out. And you'd occasionally hear other chatter on it. And one time, a friend of mine was hanging out at my house. We must have been like 11 or so.
Oh
and
shit.
some chatter goes on the radio, and law enforcement's talking about sighting of illegal aliens. My friend like gets this amazing look on his face and turns to me and goes, "Aliens are real?" I was like, "No, you idiot! It's illegal aliens. It's people crossing into the country illegally."
Yeah, it's kind of when I was like going through my visa process. There's a lot of paperwork, and it's like a contract where you see yourself referred to as something and not your name, and it's just like you're just referred to as the alien.
Yeah.
This is.
Are you closer to getting a green card? Because they're gonna try to crack down on all the work visas.
I feel like
Yeah,
also
I mean,
as a-
I assume I'm screwed.
But it's
as like a
outstanding alien, it's
homeowner.
different.
I mean, shouldn't
Okay.
you like you have stake, like you have property?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I can live on it.
So weird. I actually I was telling you this, and I'm not going to say specific locations, but I was between two locations, and Gavin's house happened to be between the two places. So I was walking, and I realized I was about to pass in front of Gavin's house, and I was like, "Oh fuck! Like, what if he sees me?" And I started getting like all
like
nervous
I'm always
and
looking
stuff.
out the front window.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, it would just be my luck that you would pull up with Meg or something like that. So I was like, fuck. So, like, I almost texted him and be like, "Hey, I'm walking by your house, but don't make it weird in case I see you." And I was like, well, I mean, I haven't hung out with Gavin in a while, and I don't know if he's going to think that's funny or if I'm being weird or not. So, like, I just had this, like, horrible thing happen where I
See,
didn't
this
know
is what
to
I'm
do.
talking about. The worst case scenario there is that I see you. So what?
Yeah, what's
I
going
thought
on
we're
in
good
your
friends,
head?
Brant. I almost called you Brant.
Wow, we're good friends, Brant. Blaine?
I got something. Oh, good.
No, I'm just saying, like, what would be the issue if I saw you?
I don't know. It's just been weird because I don't know.
It's
you
weird
might-
because you make it weird.
Yeah,
I dodged
if
the
I
street
saw you,
altogether.
I'd
I
be
just
like-
took the long way
If I saw you, I'd probably swing the door open and be like, "Oh," and then close it again. What's weird about that?
with the dick
That's
out.
actually pretty weird. No, yeah, I'd have my dick out.
That's not as weird as what he did, though. Like, you took it to a weird place.
But then I would have been like, he saw me. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. He just thinks I want to hang out or something.
So what?
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I had something kind of similar. I like the neighborhood that Gavin lives in, and I was over there and I saw that there was a house for rent near his, like on the same street. And I was like, man, that'd be really cool to see. But then, I mean, Gavin, if I moved in near him, he might just be like, why is that? Or
What's
is
the
it
deal,
going to be
bud?
awkward that we never hang out, even though we're like right next to each other? Or is he gonna be like, are you infringing? I just wasn't comfortable doing it.
Because of that?
Yeah, I thought you'd get weirded out, or you guys would be like,
No.
why is he doing that?
No, who cares? I live actually like 6 doors down from someone who works here.
Really?
What if I moved in next to you? Would be like total bros, right?
You could build
I
like a
would
little
honestly-
walkway connecting your
Blaine,
houses.
I would be fine with it.
Yeah.
Because who cares?
I
I
don't
don't see
know.
my neighbors. I would barely see you, probably.
Oh, okay.
Blaine
don't
would
know.
run from his car to the front door.
There's the incentive gone. It's just-
And I could borrow sugar and stuff. Never use sugar, but I might borrow some if you
oh,
live
that'd be
next door.
cool. Yeah.
Do you have sugar?
Yeah, I do. I might not. It's high in carbs.
I ran into one of my neighbors at the grocery store yesterday. And I thought it was really weird. Like, I feel like I never see my neighbor, and then he literally got in line behind me at the grocery store. So I was like, putting my groceries on the little belt, and I looked at him like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I'm buying this. I'm like, oh. And it was like that really awkward moment you're talking about. I was like, well, I'm going to go back to buying my stuff now. So I'm going to turn and keep making my purchase.
And then you pass them again later on, and it's like still
And
weird.
I got my bag and just started running. We got to get back to the car. Got to get back before he does so we don't pull in at the same time.
You just leave all your stuff there.
I have this really bad habit of running into ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, like on the street when like Austin's a
It's
small-ish
not a bad
city.
habit. That's bad luck.
Bad luck. It's a small city, but it's still too big that should happen as frequently as it does for me. But then a weird one happened where I was at Frank with Alana, and we're sitting there, and I look behind her. I'm talking to her, and I look behind her, and they have all these Polaroid pictures, and there's a fucking Polaroid of a girl that I used to date. And I was like, what are the chances? Like, it was so weird. So I was like, every time I was talking to her, the other person was staring at me as well. It's really weird. It's a real experience.
Did that like affect the conversation anyway?
I got kind of distracted and was like, this is kind of a funny moment, but I should definitely tell her. So, yeah.
So you brought it up?
Yeah. I was like, yeah. You know.
I feel like it's just never a good idea to talk about any ex in any capacity.
Well, I also
with a current person you're with.
I also had a weird experience too, where my parents were in town. They did a surprise visit, and they're like, "Hey, we're at Drury Hotel or something like that." I was like, oh, "Okay, I think I know where that is." So I typed into my maps, and I got there, and I was like, "I've been to this hotel for sex before." And I go to their room, and I was like, the room that I had sex in was like 2 doors down.
You remember the room you boned in?
I mean, like roughly like floor and location.
Oh, I thought you meant roughly.
I knew about whereabouts it was.
Well, in your furniture and your significant other's furniture, you've had for a while, so you know that they've had sex and you've had sex with other people on this furniture. I mean, it's weird too. You get past it.
What's your favorite furniture to have sex on, Brandon?
I got a new mattress though. Not the case.
The table.
You got a new mattress?
The table?
Sleep number.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Okay.
Wait, you shagged on a table?
That's his
No,
favorite
hoist.
furniture to shag on.
Is it one of those tables where
special
the
occasion.
thing comes up for like putting bowls on and eating?
No, actually, it has a lazy Susan, so I can just like spin her around. No, but it's like table,
Just,
like you
doggy
like.
spinning around.
It's like
in the
it's
mouth, in the arse. Too much?
No,
Or like
it's
at the end you finish. So it's just like, and it's like being wrapped up, like Spider-Man.
You
like
finish on the
wrapping up.
lazy Susan in like a spiral?
No, we don't really do. I don't actually have a laser Susan.
A lazy
I-
Susan.
A
Laser
laser Susan.
Susan.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
But no, it's just
cool
it's from a standpoint of it. The actual mechanics of it are a lot easier. But you don't do it all the time. It's your table. You eat on that.
Just your favorite. All right.
Well, wait. No, why is no one else going to answer this question?
Well, like,
I was asking you because I figured you had the weirdest answer.
what's your
you
answer?
did. A bed?
That's the weirdest place?
No, I said
Favorite
your
place.
favorite place.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You?
Bed.
Yeah. I'm boring.
No, I
Blaine?
mean, that's what we mostly. But I'm just saying,
It's my favorite.
special. All right.
Probably bed. Like, I've done vehicles. I used to exclusively only do vehicles because of my living situation.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's the fucking worst.
Did
So
you have
it's
like a van with a mattress in the back of it?
No, I had a Chevy HHR, which was like a hatchback car, and it was the fucking worst. Ugh.
I have a 2-door coupe.
I don't even think I've tried it in my
Yeah.
Jeep because my Jeep is just like the smallest little.
Nah, that'd be a good place to do it.
You
'Cause
get
a
the shocks.
A Jeep rocks.
And see, do you go in the front seat, like the passenger front seat, or in the back seat?
No, because like I don't have any window tinting on my front seat, so it would just be like the whole world could see inside. But my back seat is like super tinted.
Well, where do you drive to do this?
Last time I had sex in a car was at Zilker Park. Yeah, is that like right? Is it Zilker near the bridge?
What time was this? Like what date?
I think it was about
Why are bridges always
10
involved?
p.m. on probably like a Saturday or Sunday.
No, like what day? Like was this last year? Was this
Oh
a
no,
couple
this
months
is
ago?
this is during
Are
college.
you
This
worried
is
that you were there at the
different.
same time also having sex with someone?
No, I'm just curious.
Like,
probably- it
Brandon,
was
Brandon
actually
was a jogger. He walked running by. He's like, "Oh shit, that's Blaine's car." He's having sex. Should I text him?
It was right before my internship at Rooster Teeth.
Is there any like large dogging community in Austin?
Dogging community?
Dogging.
What does that mean?
What is that?
It's where you like go and watch people bang in cars.
Oh,
No.
those are cucks.
Cucks.
Yeah,
Really? That's a thing?
isn't it?
I
I'm
think-
not crazy here.
No,
right?
I think
they're called
that-
cucks.
that's when someone else has sex with the person you're with.
Right, but I think they're.
I think
an
he's talking about
aspect
just
of
people
that
just watch
is to
strangers.
watch.
Are the strangers
like
in on it?
voyeurism.
Like the strangers like it?
I've never been a dogger. I don't
Why
know.
are
I've never
you
done
Why
it.
are you curious? Are you trying to get into that?
I was
break
worried.
into that
No, I was
lifestyle?
worried. I was wondering if anyone was watching you in
Oh,
Zilka.
I don't know. Could you have sex with somebody watching?
No,
No.
no. I'd be self-conscious. I would just be like,
That's why I'd never do like any form of sex tape or anything. I just
I could.
don't
Yeah,
wanna
the
see it.
sex tape thing, no, because I don't want a record of me having sex. But I could probably do it in front of somebody else.
yeah. But would you try to make sure that you always had the best angle going their way?
I would want the person to see the other person that I'm with, because this is all you don't want to.
How are they not going to see you? How are they only going to see that person?
I just I hide behind the other person. Like.
And if they try and walk around,
it's like Lord of the Rings. You do like forced perspective stuff. So
yeah.
And if they try and walk around to a different angle, you could be on a lazy Susan, constantly turn.
All right, we got to wrap this up. I thank everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next. Oh yeah, stay tuned for our interview with Ela Darling, where we talk about VR porn. Should be. It's very interesting.
It's very fitting for this episode.
What does this podcast become?
All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Hello, welcome to this supplemental portion of the Rooster Teeth podcast. We have a special guest with us, Ela Darling.
Hi.
And we've got like these two schlubs also.
Hi.
Brandon and Chris, and I'm Gus. So Ella's in town for South by Southwest to talk about VR porn, and it's a field that you've been kind of pioneering
A
for
little
a
bit,
little while.
yeah.
You want to talk about what got you interested in the using VR for this type of application?
So the first time I ever tried an Oculus Rift, immediately I wanted to watch porn with it. And I knew that this was going to be really, really good for porn. Basically, when I try new technology, I have two questions. How can I fuck with it, or how can people watch me fuck with it? So it was pretty clear application here. So I got into it about 3 years ago. I was super excited about it. I wanted to do VR porn, but I didn't really have the tech background for it. So I found the person who's now my business partner on Reddit, and he flew me out to the East Coast to do our first ever shoot. And it was a 180-degree 3D like solo porn. And it was really cool. It was a really great video, and it just felt so compelling, and it felt like you were really connecting with this person in front of you. And so it was really cool.
So it's a lot more. It seems like you would have to direct your attention a lot more to camera, since you're performing at camera in that instance.
Absolutely. The camera is basically your scene partner. And so for some porn that people shoot, they'll actually put the camera on the person's head. And so it's like a first person POV shot. But yeah, so it's really cool. I did 180 3D porn. I did 360 3D porn. We made the first ever VR porn holograms. Then we used that technology to make a dating simulator, so you can date me in virtual reality. I'm a really tough date, it turns out. And so that was really cool, and really we really liked that experience because it felt like you were really talking to a real person.
I hope there's like a quick save and a quick load. It's like, oh, I fucked up. Load the previous save.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was sort of like a social learning experience and also kind of sexy. But so the next step was obviously to make it so that you could actually talk to a real person. And so we launched the first ever live webcam platform in virtual reality, which is now called Cam4 VR, and it's really fun. And yeah, so that's what we do. I'm the world's first VR cam girl, and I could talk about VR porn all day long.
I'll admit I did some research on the Cam4 website, checking out the 360 camming.
Yeah, totally. The camming, the 360 part.
The technology behind it.
Just for
it was for work.
business.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's an unusual thing. I'm glad we work where we work. It's like that's fine. Like I was working doing this, and it's like there's no one's gonna come.
Yeah, I do a lot of business research too. I mean, I've been studying up for years.
So, I mean, the big question for me, like always, like in watching some of this production is always like, what's the compelling reason to do this kind of thing in VR? Because it seems like lots of times, you have a very limited window that you're interested in and a very big window that's maybe not necessarily interesting.
Right. So we actually take that into consideration with the tech that we created. So we make our own camera and we make our own software that broadcasts using the camera. So essentially we take a static 360 photosphere, like a photo capture of the space, and then we broadcast a small portion on top of that, because you're right, like really you don't care what's going on with my closet, nothing's going to change back there, so why waste bandwidth broadcasting that? So yeah, I think when it comes to virtual reality experiences, it's really important to have a reason to do it in VR. Like, don't just throw the technology at something because why not? And so with VR adult experiences, it feels like you're genuinely sharing this lived experience with someone. And with the live cam, it gives you the sense of connection that you just don't really see in traditional camming. There was this one guy who, he came to like 2 or 3 of my cam shows. I used to do weekly cam shows, just themed stuff, butt stuff or electro stuff or whatever. And so one day I sort of had to reschedule, so I only had one person at the show, and it was this guy, and it was like, okay, cool, you get a free show today. What do you want? And all he wanted was to just talk about his feelings, basically. Like, his girlfriend had just broken up with him.
Mm-hmm.
He felt really lonely, and he wanted to be someplace where he felt safe with someone he felt he could trust. And for him, after talking to me like twice in like a sex VR show, he felt that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you see that sometimes with cam experiences, with cam relationships, but with virtual reality, it's just so accelerated and it happens so much more rapidly.
I feel like I used to hear stories like that, like a long time ago, you know, when phone sex lines were still a thing. Like, you would hear stories from workers on those lines who would say that a good number of calls were from men who just like needed someone to talk to or needed someone to unload the like whatever emotional baggage they had.
Absolutely.
With and you know, before, I guess, like, phone was the best way to have a connection with someone, but this way's even like, it's like the next level of that.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing I've noticed in VR is that people are nicer. People just treat you nicer. They don't harass you the same way that people sometimes do on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because when you're in my VR cam show, you feel like you're actually in my home with me. You feel like you're actually standing at the foot of my bed, and you don't give someone shit in their own house, you know? Like, they're nice to you.
Well, you're also, I mean, when as a viewer, you know, you would become you're a real person then. Like,
Yeah.
when it's, you know, that kind of immersive, when it's that immersive, you're not just a flat static image.
Exactly. And one of the things I really like about the immersive quality of VR is that when I'm camming, I know that everything they see is something I constructed for them to see, to view. My room is decorated in a way that sort of conveys a sense of my personality. Everything that they see is just something that I've created for them, and they're not on their phones. Well, unless they're on the Gear VR, then they are on their phones. But they're not checking their email. They're not distracted with other stuff. They're just completely immersed in this experience I've created for them. And camming is so much more fun when you're in that place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You talked about like having this dating simulator or like having this way, like other levels of interactivity that, you know, normally aren't available. You know, what do you think about like the idea of like next steps where, like, let's say me as a viewer, I could be like, well, like, I'm really into furries right now. Like, I could reskin you as a furry, reskin me as a furry, or like, oh, I really want more of a hentai thing. You know, let's do like a cell shaded effect or cartoons. Like, how far do you think like that level of interactivity or customization is away?
Well, it's definitely here. I mean, you can create your own custom avatars in various VR apps, and there are computer-generated VR porn experiences. But I think for me, when I try those experiences, I just can't get past the uncanny valley, the idea that like this is not really a real person, and I'm kind of just jerking off to a cartoon right now, which is fine sometimes, but not necessarily my thing.
Judge.
Hey, no, absolutely not.
This is a safe place.
So like, I wonder about like how difficult some of this is. So like, obviously we're talking about different things here, right? Like, you talk about a camming experience, you're talking about a dating simulator, you talk about, you know, traditionally produced porn. You know, when you're dealing with all of this, it seems like there's a lot more that can go wrong and a lot more difficulty. Like, I remember I read when you talked about doing the first VR porn that you talked about a little earlier, you said that the guys just kind of left you in the room and said, okay, now make porn. You know, like, how difficult is it to deal with this, since like it's an evolving technology and it's new?
Yeah, so I think it necessitates a certain like better level of performance and self-direction, and it sort of raises the bar for performers, which I think is kind of a good thing. It is tougher. It's especially if you're the person wearing the camera. Like, if you're the guy in that scenario, you can't use your hands, you can't make noises, you can't talk. All of those things break the immersion for the viewer. So I know for guys or whomever is wearing the camera, when you shoot that way, it can be really, really difficult. Especially, it's already kind of hard, I imagine, keeping wood on set because you've got people watching you and it's sort of uncomfortable, and you know.
I'm doing okay right now.
But yeah, like,
brag.
You got a career ahead of you. But yeah, so it's just but yeah, so it can be really difficult in that sense. But I don't know, like, I have more fun with it. You have to really be the persona you've created for yourself. You have to be the most version of that possible.
If you're talking to somebody who hasn't ever experienced it at home, but, you know, likes porn, but they obviously don't know what they're missing because they've never tried something like this. What would you say is the thing that they should consider? Like you really don't know, but this is really why you would like it. Like this is why your current experience like is just losing so much.
I would say traditional porn compared to VR porn is like a Polaroid compared to an IMAX experience. It's just vastly, vastly different. It's so awesome. It makes you feel a real sense of connection with the person you're watching. It makes you feel like you're actually living that experience instead of just watching it. Yeah.
Sorry, you couldn't see it, but Chris raised his hand to ask a question.
Yes, dear.
Well, has there ever been an issue where people have gotten too like personal or too connected because of that experience, where you feel like, oh, like you need to take a step back?
Not really. Not that I can recall right now. But people do that all the time.
That happens. Yeah.
I mean, I've had literally someone take a photograph of my back outside of my apartment building and then send it to me like, oh, hey, now I know where you live.
Oh.
What?
That's cool. Thanks for that.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, moving now.
Brandon, you should stop.
No, don't judge me.
So
I thought you would find it funny.
I wish I thought about this a little earlier when we were talking about like reskinning and, different types of experiences. But I think it would be ideal if in the future, I could change what the male performer's penis looks like to more closely match.
Yeah.
Like, you could toggle like circumcised, uncircumcised, left leaner, right leaner. That way you're like, yeah, that's it.
That's
right
about
there.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like going through like character customization and MMO. It's like you're going through all the different attributes.
Can I make it angrier?
So
Intellect up.
Yeah.
Charisma up.
so our experience doesn't actually have like an avatar. Like when you look down, you don't have a body there. And I don't want there to be a body there until it can be absolutely customizable. I want people to be able to make a VR representation of themselves and have that be the thing that represents them. Because if you use if you put in whatever body you put in is going to end up being exclusionary. If it's a male body, then when women watch the experience, they're going to be like, oh, I have a dick now. This is different. And I don't want anyone to feel like this isn't a product for them. Once we can represent different body types, different genders, different racial backgrounds, just everything, then I'll feel like it's something that I would want to include. But until it's absolutely inclusive, I don't really want to put it in my experience.
Are there any particular things that you've done to take advantage of, besides what you mentioned, like to take advantage of the format? Like I could see something where it's, oh, well, this would be a really cool thing to have like a threesome type thing where it's like, oh, there's like people looking back and forth and stuff like that.
I shot, so when I was shooting 360, I shot like a sort of threesome scene and it was pretty cool. But I just feel like the most compelling part of VR is the personal intimacy. And so I don't know. I think pretty soon on Cam 4 we're going to start having some threesome shows.
You should like mess with people first. Just like put it in like behind them and don't tell them. So if they like just kind of look behind, like for whatever reason, all of a sudden they see that there's actually people having sex in the back of your room.
Like your very subtle audio cues coming from behind you to key you in.
Like, because to me, in a VR experience, that would be the coolest porn scene, like a weird orgy, right? Like a Eyes Wide Shut type thing. Like you're just kind of like, oh, this is a very nice tea party, and then like slowly, and as you're looking around, like things are getting like crazier and crazier. But I guess like as maybe stuff like this keeps getting more popular, more money will be put into it, and you might have sex orgy tea party.
So you talked also about how you wanted I'm going to ignore Brandon for a second. You talked about also how you wanted it to be really inclusive with lots of customization.
Right.
It would be interesting if we reach a point where, along with VR headsets, you can also purchase at-home body scanners. So you can like scan in yourself into VR, and then it's like, then do you become worried? Like people are worried about people stealing nudes off of their phone. Then it's like you're worried about, oh shit, they stole my body scan. They're gonna have me doing things I don't want.
Just download your copy from the airport.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of did that. So the holographic technology was sort of doing like a body scan. We used a time of flight depth camera, which is a really fancy way of saying Microsoft Kinect, and basically just captured like the performer's body in space. So I would designate the capture space on 3 axes, and so everything in that space would be captured. So we kind of did a body scan, sort of.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see it become, widely available where anyone, like at home, you just buy a device and it's just something that's plugged into your computer and you can use it whenever. You can scan, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be people, but if you want a 3D model of something, like I feel like that's one of the big barriers right now with VR. It's like I wish there was an easier way to represent everyday things. Like if I wanted to make something, like if I wanted this cup in there, just to be able to scan it. The big concern I have, like when I think about VR porn as a guy, is what about the mess? Like since you have a headset on, you got to be really careful with where you're aiming. Otherwise, you could I don't know, get your keyboard messed up or
electrocuted.
Yeah.
How do I explain this to Amazon's return customer service?
There is no danger of getting hit in the eye, though.
That's true. You are protected from that.
Yeah.
So there's a device called Kiru, which sort of takes a fleshlight style sleeve.
Hold on, what's it called? I want to look it up.
Kiiroo, and we support it at Cam 4. But no, so you have this device, and basically it syncs up with whatever the performer is doing. You can find porn that is synced up to the Kiru, so like whatever is happening to the performer's dick now happens to your dick.
What?
And yeah, so it's like a reciprocal device.
You're kind of blowing my mind here.
It's not just your mind.
Bad choice of words.
What is it? K-I-R?
Kiiroo.
I see it right here.
Yeah, and so in that case, you just jizz into the little sleeve and then you clean that up afterwards.
No,
so,
that's perfect.
yeah.
So it's like you just put it on, right?
Yes.
And then as things are happening in the thing, it starts like
Yeah.
like
Hopefully it's not making that noise.
So like, yeah, it sort of vibrates and like, I don't have a penis, so I can't really describe it because I've never really used it. But we'll give our performers like these dildo devices. And so whatever the girl does to that dildo is reciprocated in the stroker. So it's really cool.
So,
we live in the future.
Yeah. So I
Oh
can
my
give you a virtual
God.
hand job. I mean, could. That was awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't even think about that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the mess anymore.
There you
That's
go.
crazy.
I love that was your concern.
That's always like, oh, you got to worry about like, where's it going to go? Are you going to ruin your keyboard?
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like that's wow. That's like that's
I think you took Brandon's words away.
yeah, no, but we joke about like, oh, virtual reality sex. That has to be it.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like we're there now.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, oh, we should get one for the office. I'm like, no, it's not something
No,
we're gonna
no.
share.
Let's not do that. You can get one for yourself, Chris. So how did you come around to discovering VR? Like, did you have like a background in gaming or anything?
I've always really been into new technology. I go to E3 every year, so I tried it at E3, and I was really psyched about it. and yeah, just from the first time I tried it, it was like, this is going to be awesome for porn. And I think two of the biggest experiences in virtual reality are porn and like social VR. So it kind of combined the two.
Yeah, I was. What was I watching? I think I was watching Dota 2 in VR a few months ago, and when you're watching people play this game in VR, your microphone in your headset is turned on, so you can talk with other people who are observing in VR. And I know I was in the lobby, and I was trying to figure out which game I was going to watch, and an avatar spawned behind me, and I heard a woman's voice, talking like, "Oh wow, this is crazy," and I could see every headset in the room turned, and they all start saying, "Oh my God, it's a girl! There's a girl in here!" So and then. She wasn't harassed or anything, but I think everyone was just shocked, and like it was just bizarre to see all these disembodied headsets just turn.
I wonder what that was like for her. She'd be like, oh.
No, I think she was shocked. She didn't realize that her mic was on and that people could hear her. She's like, "Oh, can you all hear me?" Like you see all the headsets just nodding.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a digital horror film.
Yeah, it was totally like something out of a horror film.
Our next version of the camera that we're going to be putting onto the site is going to have voice-to-voice compatibility. So when you log into like a private show, you can speak directly to the performer and she'll hear you and talk right back.
Nice.
It's fucking amazing. I love it.
We're totally in the future.
Yeah.
I want to mention that you are here for South by Southwest, and
Yes,
you have
I
a
am.
panel. It looks like it's Friday from 2 to 3.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay,
it's on Thursday. Is it at the Hilton?
that's a great question.
Okay,
I'm not really sure.
We'll find
I should
out.
find out.
I believe the panel is called VR Porn. Future is upon us. What's next? If you're in town for South by Southwest, you should definitely check it out. Thanks so much for joining us. It was really cool. I'm glad I learned about some new devices today.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. You got some more research ahead of you.
Yeah, definitely. I failed in my research leading up to this. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.